flow so impressionistic. Yo, can't capture, you have to live with my wish. To see you do it in with a spin, clutch face in the wind, hush hate with a grin. But ain't nothing funny when I ego trip. Bust a shot to the sky, hoping you gon' slip. I crash heroes, lost column, that's zero. I backhand you, nuclear reprimand you. I can't stand you, dancing around my milieu with a million ways to kill you. Trying new way to shock me, I seen it all. Blocks and locks and had trillionaires trying to box me. Losing stocks, I luxuriate under pressure. Won't blink at a lesser, mad professor. My style, my colors, my wiles, my guy. All you are is agile. I spin, I smirk, I win. You dance, you dodge again. My enemy, my rival. How sweet is pure survival. I dial, I smile, I sneer. You swear your end is near. My friend, let's play. Your journey ends today. I spin, I smirk, I win. You dance, you dodge again. My enemy, my rival. How sweet is pure survival. I dial, I smile, I sneer. You swear your end is near. My friend, let's play. Your journey ends today.
Welcome back. Yeah, that's the stream title. Hey, welcome. Stream title could, if I wanted it to be longer, it could be Losing My Grasp on Reality, and also I'm gonna play more Great Ace Attorney 2. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Hope everyone's having a good Thursday. We're gonna start the final chapter of To God 2. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's just redundant to say. But I hope everyone's doing good. We're gonna pick up where we left off, which is continuing this case, which is a new chapter, but it's also the same. I don't know. Is there any left? You know, every time I think that I'm at the bottom of the barrel, Shit Takumi opens up the bottom and says, "Get in," like the SpongeBob. But thanks. The last Ace Attorney case ever ever. The last time I get to click start on a new chunk of a game. In any game, ever. But yeah. How long it's taken us? A couple years. Give or take. But yeah. As we go on, we remember all the times we... So, yeah. I'm gonna get cop stuff. I'm gonna get back to it. Enjoy Shadow. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm excited to get into it. This is broken me. Appreciate it. Thank you for the bits. Thank you. I have no idea if sub alerts are still broken or not. Hopefully they're not. I did get a lot of work done yesterday, setting up new things. There are none of them are up on stream yet, but I'm working on swapping out alerts for Twitch alerts. I'm gonna try that, which I experimented with it when it first came out, but now they've added a bunch of stuff that I was hoping for, as well as replacing the stuff at the bottom. Anyway, doesn't matter. But things are still broken. Oops, hopefully. But yeah. I mean, a two-parter makes sense. First of all, you're into the Mysterious Cases and never looking at Gregson Death releases. Yeah! Except the Gregson murder is what was presented to us first. So it feels unsatisfying. I mean, we're very smoothly going into the second half of it, so I'm not mad about it, but... Yeah. Stod! Hey, Chad, did you know? First of all, that Stod is a great dude, and you should follow him on Twitch and his VOD channel, VOD of Stod on YouTube. But it's also his birthday today? Did you know that it's Stod's birthday? And that what would make my day is if you all yell at Stod about it being his birthday. That's what I want for my birthday end of this year. Shut up. Too bad, Stod. Happy birthday, man. I hope it's a good day. And I hope you're doing well. My friend. I appreciate it. Did you know? I know not. Happy birthday, Quiz Boy. There's something about the stank on Quiz Boy. But anyway, you're in the airport, so I'm running away. Have a good trip, Stod. I'll virtually see you when you get back. I hope it's a good time. Appreciate it. My neighbor said keep it down. Keep it down! Yeah, there's the link. VOD of Stod. There it is. Also, speaking of YouTube, last stream I mentioned that I had just recorded a thing, and it's now out, which is the, I was once again on the YouTube channel Torvald's Quest. I'll drop a link. But he does a video game music trivia show that I was on last year. I don't remember when exactly. But I was on it with Brett Ultimus and Kid Icarus, in case you remember that. And I had a great time, even though I lost. And he's doing a new season of the show, and this is all people who lost in previous seasons coming back. So it was me with Jesse Cox and King K. And I won't say if I won or lost. That's for you to watch and find out. But that's the link to it. I had a great time. It's always... Let's go! Sub alerts are not broken today. I appreciate it. It's impossible for me to test. I just have to wait for something new to show up during stream. I can see if, like, the alert is working, but it's like, I know the alerts are working. They've been working for years. So when it breaks, I'm just like, man. Kid Icarus. Caddy. Yeah. No, I was not on a stream with Kid Icarus, sadly. Or not stream, but thing. Juju was there. Nice. A hype stream on Stod's channel for his birthday. I mean, yeah. City Stod. Go check it out. But yeah, anyway, hopefully when I switch over to all the new stuff, it's not obvious. Things are gonna look the same, but I'll have some new toys to play with. So, I don't believe in like gaslighting chat for people to be like, wait, is that new? It's like I'd rather just be like, hey, by the way, this is different. So I'll let you know when it's different. Because also I'll need to make sure things aren't broken. So it's gonna be fun. But yeah, vis-a-vis of nothing, and I didn't just say that because Viz is here, Viz, I recently watched, there's a YouTube channel, Folding Ideas, not Ideals. That'd be a good second channel. And he did a very fascinating video about, being invited to the Mr. Beast's games. Yeah, Dan Olsen. If you haven't seen it, I mean, his channel in general is great. But his most recent video, he was invited to Beast Studios, and it was a wild time. And this morning I woke up to receiving an email that was like, "Dear BarryWasStreaming, I'm from Mr. Beast Studios, and we're doing a collaboration with 1,000 people." Dan! Thanks for the raid, Dan. I'm just getting started over here. You're just in time for a quick story. I received an email this morning that was like, hello, from a definitely a real email address. I'm working with Mr. Beast Productions, and we want to like fly you out to take part in this like 1,000 person. It's a fake email. It's like from some random ass Gmail, bunch of numbers. It's got all the hallmarks of being written by AI. It's some kind of weird scam thing. But I was just like, God, having just watched the Folding Ideas video where he's like, I'm just getting on a flight. I don't know if I'm like, this is the dark timeline. I got the evil email that they would send me to like some random island and harvest all my organs. So that's I got that email, and that's so nice. So yeah, I know I'm not it's crazy. You mentioned last year. Oh yeah, it's very good. Nice. Evil Dan Olsen confirmed. Yeah. So anyway, if I suddenly disappear, it's because I've been captured by I was gonna say evil Mr. Beast, but that's honestly that's a little bit redundant. But anyway, yeah. Yes, the Resident Evil Code Veronica email I got that in my mailbox earlier, so I'm very excited about that. Exciting opportunities. Oh wait, what was Dan streaming today? I was not on Twitch at all while I was getting set up. I mean, yeah, I don't care for him. I don't think the overlap between my pocket of the internet and that part of the internet, I don't know how much Venn diagram is in the middle. There's probably like a little bit. Like they like meet. I don't know. There's probably like a tangential math function that would describe that, but probably not a ton of. I kidnapped 1,000 streamers. Minecraft, but every chunk is random. So the chunk generated is like a different biome. Can it be like, here's a fucking nether chunk in the overworld? Or is it just like, here's a taiga biome, here's a beach biome, here's a different block? All chunks are, oh, every chunk is just one block. Oh, what the fuck? That is way weirder than I thought. When you walk into it. So it's not like you can see, oh, in the distance I can see that that's like a grass block chunk. You just step across an invisible threshold and everything just changes. That sounds insane. I'll have to check out that VOD. That sounds cool. But speaking of, also, while I'm just shouting out everyone and everything, Dan has launched a new channel where he's putting out a lot more edited content. And I've been slowly chipping away. It's a beast of a video. But he has his first Elden Ring playthrough he did on stream chopped up into a more condensable format. And it's very good. But I've been slowly chipping. It's been really good for just like mealtime videos. The Chula video's out, yeah. A beast, you say? A beast of a video. It's true. The Mr. Beast of a video. But anyway, look outside of it. Yeah, it's good stuff. Just go to Dan's YouTube. Appreciate Quincy. To beasts, you say? To beasts. Anyway, we're gonna get back to this. I don't know if there's anything else. I know I was asked to yap so someone could get caught up on the VODs, but I don't know where we ended things last time. If you're gonna raid and run, or if you're like, I don't want spoilers, this is your off ramp, because the end of the last stream was insane, and I need to yell about it. So probably chat on Elden Ring launch, I was playing, I think. Oh my god, yeah, that's been very fun too to watch Dan's discovery. Also, like the entire like first week's worth of streams, you can just hear he's smiling the entire time. It's so fun. So, can you like a video? Yeah. If you need a permit, let me know. Any Twitch or YouTube links are safe to post in chat. But if it's not hosted on those, then I need to permit you. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I never played it. I played all the Assassin's Creeds up until 3, and then I got burnt out by 3, like a lot of people. And I was like, I'm good. And everyone's like, wait, but no, it's good. Nigga Bad Series. Yeah, appreciate it, Calvi. Have a good one. This series is amazing, and everyone should go buy it. Also, so we just signaled the I'm so late to this party, but you know, Capcom needs to get cracking on something. Eventually, Blossom Attorney members. The names of the cases. I don't need a reminder, but thank you. Here you go. All right, what is this relevant? What is DSG music? Got me like, oh, Dai Gyakuten Saiban. I was like, what the fuck is DGS? What the? No, it's not. Hold on. Everything's going really well on my computer right now. Hold on, over to here. That's it. Okay. That's amazing. I was waiting for Shomes to step in, but it's not the Friday night dance, so you know that thank you. That's quite good. That's quite good. Yeah, the abrupt cutoff. I love when a high quality shitpost has an abrupt cutoff. It does bring me joy. He's learning to dance. By God, he's starting to believe. Anyway, let me get copy stuff. But first of all, between streams, subs and resubs from Roberto's, Rad Swinny Bar, Blue Lagoon 134, Alan Barris Music, and Omega Platinum. Appreciate it. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. But Smash Bros. Thanks for the bits. There's this video about a Scottish guy's thoughts on Animal Crossing New Horizons. Echoes all the sentiments you had when we talked about it recently. It's 2 hours long, but honestly, the way it's structured feels a lot like you trying to organize your thoughts on a game. Maybe you might end up enjoying that. Might be worth listening in the background. Appreciate it. I'll check it out. Yeah, I am generally averse to long video essays when they feel like stream of consciousness, which might sound counterintuitive, but in my mind at least, me rambling on stream is different than me presenting a video saying this is my thoughts on this thing. If I'm talking on stream, you know this is my off-the-cuff fucking thoughts. And if you've seen anything that I've scripted, you understand that, like, that is me distilling the random disparate thoughts and trying to bolt them down and make something coherent out of it. So I have very high standards for someone putting out a video that's like, here's how I feel about the thing. So I'm like, if it's more than an hour long, it better be worth it. I get mad when I'm like, you needed to edit this down. Half of this shit is just you repeating the same thing. So, not ready for this part. I'm not ready for any of this. It should feel like an essay. Yes. Yeah, not like the 5-paragraph essay that I was taught in school, because then that's too boring, but like, you need to create some sort of a structure, whatever works for you. There's many different types, but if it's just, I just opened a document and started writing out all my thoughts, and then I recorded it, or I just turned on my microphone. I'm not saying that's what this video is. I want to be clear. This was 20 years ago. That's fair. And I'm passing judgment on a video I haven't seen, so I'm not talking about that video. I'm just saying, like, in general. I just needed to speak to the thing of, like, yeah, I also ramble for long periods of time, but I don't take me rambling for 5 hours about blueprints out of context and make it its own separate video. I'm just like, this is part of a live stream VOD, and if anyone's like, I don't give a fuck, they can skip it. I'm not gonna be like, here's how I feel, and present it as if it's a coherently phrased point. So, it's shit. Yeah, basically. I hate everything. I hate everything. Hate a stream of consciousness. Yeah, there's a few channels that I feel like I'm getting gotcha'd, because there'll be like a good thumbnail and title of, like, you know, sharing my thoughts about this thing, whatever it is, and then it turns out it just is exactly what I'm talking about. They're like, here's what I'm talking about, and it has a scripted intro, and then it cuts to like stream VOD, and it's like, that feels manipulative. Like, I feel like you should be more like, play the game, man. I'm not throwing rocks from inside of my glass house, but I always just feel a little bit swindled when I'm like, that's not what I was signed up for by clicking on this thing. It feels like you just packaged up a stream VOD in a way that's nice, which is fair, but you should be open about what that is. So, anyway, if it's just unedited blueprints and rambles, yeah, that would be my top performing video ever. So, I was sort of, yes, that too, Nectarine. Yeah, the like, here's my analysis of this thing, and it's just a beat for beat retelling of what it is. It's like, listen, if I'm like, I put out a video that is a summary of this thing, or dare I say a good enough summary, so you should lower your expectations, and then I summarize the thing, that's what you signed up for. If I'm like, here's my critical analysis of Kingdom Hearts, and it's me saying, first of all, here we are in Destiny Islands. It's like, that's not what that is. That's a different video. That's a different guy. Anyway, let me get my fucking brain out of my head and fall it out of my head onto the floor, because it's Ace Attorney. Stod, thanks for the bits. Ashmore, thanks for 100 bits. Case 4 Part 2. It's more like Case 4 Part 80. Solemn, thanks for 50 months. Happy Gold Subiversary to me. I've been a while since I played the game, but I forgot most of the details. It's coming back to me, and you are not ready. I've never been ready. I know the stereotypical xenophobia in this game makes some people uncomfortable. I'd actually like that this game doesn't try to avoid it. It makes it an obstacle that Rio has to deal with throughout the game. It's neat. Good luck with the case. I wholeheartedly agree. And I talked a bit about that last stream, too. That, it is fair to be like, I don't like the way it's presented, or I don't think it's, like, the right call, or whatever. Like, you're allowed to criticize it. For my taste and what I thought going into this, I've been very, for the most part, happy with it. I think, as I said, like, they have foreigners in a time period in a location that has every reason for you to expect it to be a xenophobic location. So I think it's I can't speak to its accuracy or its you know, the localization compared to, I can't speak to any of that. I can just, from what I'm experiencing, I think it would be weird if they didn't acknowledge it. It'd be weird if they had a single throwaway line. And it would also be uncomfortable if every single sentence was the worst thing you've ever seen. And I feel like they've struck a good balance for my white ass. Like, it just feels like it's not just lip service. It's actually, there's characterization and plot beats tied around xenophobia and character motivations. It's like part of the story and the narrative. Without, for my taste, completely my own subjective experience through this world, it's not like crossing a threshold of like, I actually just need to check out. This is too much for me. So I think it's well done. We are about to start the 5th chapter, which is the second half of the 4th case. So, Rights of Arkham. I'm not familiar with it. Ignore it. I will. They toned down on this version without. Yeah, well, people have mentioned that the fan translation is a lot more less tactful with its choices. I don't know how to phrase it. Apparently, like there's just some really intense dialogue in the fan translation, which yeah, it's a hard balance to hit, and maybe someone would say like it's watered down compared to the fan translation. I don't know. I can't speak to that. I'm just experiencing this version, and I'm enjoying what it's doing. So, doing with Defuriism, I think so. I think Ryunosuke's not Ryunosuke. I think Van Zeeks is gonna have he's gonna be in the witness stand, and he's gonna have a moment where he jumps, he vaults over it like a pole vaulter, because he's actually very small. They've just been doing a lot of like Lord of the Rings style camera trickery to make you think he's taller. He's actually very, very small, and he's gonna do a pole vault leap over the witness stand, land on the defense's bench, mouth first on the Ryunosuke, and then instead of the not guilty, it's gonna say racism defeated, and everyone claps and there's confetti. That's my prediction for where the plot's going. I think that's where we're going. World War II era source from what I know, which would also maybe not be time era appropriate. I don't know, it depends on, I don't know. You'd have to read like the history of racial slurs to be authentic. So like, I don't know. I feel like they get the point across in this localization, so I don't need more than that, but you know, your mileage may vary. It's, yeah, Dark Souls style text. Yeah. How many cases in total we defend over the entire series? Oh, I have no idea. It's what, typically 5 cases per game. I don't remember how, was it 5 per investigations game? I think. But then some were like overlapping, and so I don't know. Maybe, yeah, and then something like that. It's been a lot. At least 3 or 4. There's only 4 in the second game. Okay, so high 40s or low 50s. Justice for All was 4. Gotcha. Right. Yeah, which is also why hopefully it's I don't know. When some people are like, hey, remember like game 3, case 4? And I'm like, no. You have to be like, it's the case where this bullshit happened for my brain to light up. Otherwise, I just have no idea. I'm like, it means nothing to me. Paul Just was also 4, but case 4 was 2 cases. It balances out. Wasn't even tried. Mm-hmm. Yeah, part 2 case. Also, there was like the DLC case. A couple. I don't know. It's fine. The case of the clown boobs. Sherlock Holmes and the case of the clown tid. Newman has 6 for 37 months. Just want to say thanks for always streaming. Been sick and found out I might need surgery so having a place to laugh and have fun has been a real godsend. Hope you're staying happy and healthy. I appreciate it, Newman. I hope whatever it is, you get through it smoothly and you're back to 100%, 110%. You're so healthy. You're like, I wish I was back to 100%. Thank you. Hope you're alright. Forge Wood, thanks for 37 months. Not broken. Not yet. Dumbluck Sniper, thanks for 2 years. Enjoy your house key. Jesse Howen, thanks for 10 bits. Going to FanFest for 14 tonight. We'll be in VODland for the stream. Enjoy the Final Fantasy 14 shenanigans. Dan, thanks for the raid. Zephyrost Gaming, thanks for the Prime. Happy to have you. Welcome. I hope you enjoy all the emotes and whatnot. Happy to have you. Loranthi, thanks for 11 months. Holy crap, that's almost a year. What is happening? So someone recently was like 20 months is almost 2 years, and now I got someone saying 11 months is almost a year? Has chat finally figured out how months work? Smashman, thanks for 69 bits. Congrats, you're less at risk of being taken than Dan Olsen. Well, except as he put in his video, he got an email from the Mr. Beast team that seemed to be from a legitimate domain. The email I got was just random fucking user at gmail.com with no fucking name, just being like, I'm from the Beast team, and with like AI hallmarks all over the place. So I think he did his due diligence. I was just like, this is not legit, and I moved on, but I think it's funny. Tower Trickstar, thanks for 56 months. Mr. Beast and scam fake Mr. Beast. Corporate wants you to find the difference between these two photos. Yeah. Bagel T, thanks for 79 months. And Lord Malvern, thanks for 22. Been enjoying seeing the game again after playing it through it 5 years ago. My favorite Dance of Deduction should be coming up soon. I don't even know how to wrap my head around that fact that, first of all, your favorite is yet to come, and also that we're not done. There's still at least one more Dance of Deduction. I guess I have that to look forward to. I'm just like, how on earth? Where could that even fit in? What have we been doing? Yeah, no spoilers. I'm fine with that, because for whatever reason, I'm just, yeah. I'm being invited to be spoiled. Yeah, chat. I got this really cool email from the Beast team where it's like, yeah, we're mailing you a collar with a geofence GPS on it. If you go outside of that area, your head will explode. We're trying this new show format. So attach this GoPro to the mount, and we'll see you, or won't. You know, it's good. That's not for yeah. I appreciate a no spoilers zone. For some reason, specifically exactly what was said, I'm fine with that. Just being like, what do you mean? That makes me just be like, I don't even understand how that's possible. The soap eating dance, yeah, that might be my favorite so far. It's hard to top. Recency bias aside, the one we just had at the end of last. The nature of arguing this is the king of Germany, I mean the king of Bohemia, when it's so blatantly Professor Mikatoba, and he's unconscious on the couch, and his mouth is open, is just such a funny visual. I literally was going through that scene trying to find a good frame for the thumbnail, and I got one of my favorite fucking images of this game, which I used to make the thumbnail for the VOD. This is part of Ryunosuke, like, turning. This isn't even a pose he holds, but I was like, oh my god. What a good frame to have landed on. Thank you. Yes, I agree. I was going frame by frame, and I was like, that's it. Perfect. That's the one. Yay. Yeah. So I'm like, this deduction fucking sequence, I mean, I've enjoyed all of them. It's such a fun gimmick. They're so well presented. And it feels like the further in the game they get, the more fancy they get. Like, they have more bespoke animations. They're like the bits with him looking at Iris and her, like, shuffling around and hiding stuff. There was the one previously where they had the silhouette of the guy in the wax museum, like, spinning around and snapping down to the ground and stuff. Like, more than just, like, here's our, like, 10 animations we made of walking around. They're, like, doing all these bespoke things in these scenes. That's just so much fun. And it makes me mad every time. So, anyway. Getting knocked out into rail deduction. And then it just keeps going. And then cutting to Susato, and then she's like, hey, like, okay, I'm part of it too. Like, it just... fucking phenomenal. Again, whatever happens. If they never make another Ace Attorney, yeah, I might be sad, but this has been such a fun run for me. But if they do make another one, I hope that they throw a good little budget at it, so they're able to really do more shit like that, because that's... despite the humble beginnings being so good, and I'm glad I played the DS versions, because I think the more recent Ace Attorney collections are fine, but the pixel art, god, it really adds to the crunch, and how they're able to do so much with so little, and get so much mileage out of some of those sprites, and my favorite of, like, using the fucking evidence UI box for dramatic effect sometimes, like, it was so good. But in this one, when it's like they have a little bit more room to cook, a little more cooks in the kitchen, all on the same team, go in the same direction. It's such a delight, and I'm glad this game exists. Anyway, this is 2. There we go. Ace Attorney bedtime time loop. There you go. Case 4 is a hole in this timeline over it. It's hard for me to say because it's so clearly half of a hole. I mean, I've enjoyed it as a case so far, but it's not like some DL6 kind of shit where, like, you get a little case, but then there's this stuff on top of it that is not clear. This is like, I don't even know how Gregson died yet, or where. Like, there's so much shit I don't understand. Yes, we solved the deal about where Daily Vigil was, and that was satisfying, but that's like one step. So we have a long way to go before I can be like, here's how I feel about it. He died? Well, allegedly. Who knows? No one dies. No one's ever really gone. Except for Mia. Duke, thanks for 100 bits. Congrats on being invited to Beast Island. Thank you. Now I've been uninvited, because maybe there was a secret NDA attached to that totally real email. And I'm gonna get striked by an orbital laser. Blue Lagoon, thanks for 2 months. Welg. Well, thanks. Welcome back. Enjoy your bronski. She literally came back. I mean, in flashbacks and as Ghost, but she stayed dead. Came back. Came back. Welcome to the end. We're doing it. We're about to start. You're just in time, Luke. I don't think there's anything else for me to ramble about. So we're gonna fucking go. Get back into it. But we're literally just... it feels weird because in my brain, it's like we're... Thank you, I am trogdoored up. We are like starting a new chapter, but it's not like, okay, I can just forget about everything I had to know and keep in my working memory. I have to remember all that shit. But also, we're starting a thing, so... You redeemed a timeout, did you? Yes, you did. I finished Bloodborne on PC through totally legal methods. What? You're not allowed to say that on the internet. Enjoy your timeout. Boom. Have a good one. If you're dipping, go when you dip. I dip. Welcome back. We gotta start playing. I'm always wary if that's like gonna weirdly not. Anyway, we're gonna start here. Final chapter. The resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Let's fucking go. Oh. No, this is the thing I keep doing, where I'm like, I want to load that, and then it's like, by which section? I'm like, I guess we'll just... This should be where I want to be. The Da Vinci Resolve. Lock-in twin. That's the kids used to say. Thank you. I'm locked in more than I've ever been locked in anything ever before in my life. Happy November 3rd. So, the time's finally come. Today, we unravel everything. I'm her locked and her loaded. I'll be counting on your support more than ever today, Miss Susato. Miss Susato. No. What's the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Nothing. I was just saying that I'll be relying on your support today, but... I'm so sorry, of course. I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but... I shan't let you down. The kid's name of the game. Gotcha. Great opener. It absolutely is. Would you mind helping me to my feet, then? Not true. I'm really very sorry. Is she on the roof? She has a anti-gravity device. Susato-san isn't her usual self at all, but that's hardly surprising, I suppose. She's just found out her father's the partner of a world-famous detective. Not to mention, Iris is maybe her sister. Good morning, sir. Oh. Lord Van Zeeks. Hello. Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. What? Did I hear that correctly? What? No, nothing. Just, I hope we can clear things up today. Front-facing Van Zeeks! I really can't make this man out. I really can't make out with this man. His face says, I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday. Lord Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper, Mr. Naruhodo. Good point. The Reaper, I suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. Jovial seems like an overstatement. For him, he's downright jolly. It was my tacit acceptance of that pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend that led to all this. And you're not to blame for that, Lord Van Zeeks. It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? It's not your fault. You just had reason to perpetuate a thing that resulted in bad things happening. To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason. Frank Van Zeeks. What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. That having been slain by that evil killer, Clint's restless spirit returned to some sort of demigod, to wield a deadly blade of justice where I, by dint of the law, could not. Yeah, we've heard that story too. When I lost him, What if it actually is his brother? And he's completely alive and unharmed, but has like a cool scar across his face. But he like somehow survived being stabbed 1,000 times. I felt as though I'd lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. Zex Marquis? He's the Marquis. And so, in some small way, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. I do have the Metal Gear brain rot. It's not going away anytime soon. I have so much work to do. Even if I knew it was just an illusion, just some nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public. He was obviously extremely important to you. Lord Clint Van Zeeks. Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know that you didn't take anyone's life. Do I still have all of my evidence from the last... Oh my god. This really is Case 4 version 2. I don't think anything was removed. Was anything removed? I don't remember well enough. So much shit. Unless they're gonna do a cleaning everything up now. You don't need that anymore, right? Maybe. I know you didn't take anyone's life. And I intend to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt in court today. Final. Version 75. I never thought I'd say this, but I can see it in your eyes. That burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. I can't deny it any longer. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thanks. Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Oh, Iris, when did you get here? Inventory looking like Monkey Island. Ugh! I brought you one of my special blends. Why is it in... There you... You are the great Ace Attorney. Why is it inside of an evidence square with its own icon? Hurley loves it. He says it helps him clear his head. Please don't put the tea into the court record. I thank you. Oh, hee hee. That's surely the first and last time I'll ever see a sight like this. You seem different today, Iris. Oh. Sorta subdued, I suppose. I am not. What happened yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind a lot. She's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Sai's lab. Alright then. Good luck to you both. I have to make a move now. You're not staying? I thought you'd want to watch today's proceedings. It's a closed trial that only select members of the judiciary and, like, Professor Mikotoba are able to access. Well, like, yeah, the kid can hang out. Well, I'd like to cheer you on, obviously. Like that, stopper. Fair. I've got lots to get ready. Get ready? For what? Oh, yes. Would you take this? Oh! Yeah? Isn't that one of the little felt dolls that's usually dangling from your knapsack? Yes, it's a Lucky Charm. A little Hurley that I made once. Hurley looks more like a Hairley to me. If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, I don't like where this is going, then just pull this little Hurley's ears as hard as you possibly can. Definitely not doing that. It's going to explode. What? Pull his ears. That's right, it's a way to bring good luck. Then Hurley goes, oh, my ears! Ah! It's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it. Okay. You think what we'll need is luck? Oops, my badge. The ears, huh? What a charming little rabbity version of Sholmes. Do you suppose this is how Iris sees him? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Your eyes are veritably boring into the poor doll's ears. Sorry, I was just wondering. What do you suppose would happen if I were to tug its ears with all my might right now? I'm sure we'll find out when the time is right. Chekhov's rabbit. To become a proper gentleman, you really must learn stoic patience. But I wanna know. I wanna know. It is very good. Rotates the Holmes rabbit. I hope it is psychically linked to the real Sholmes. Like a voodoo doll. Okay. You think what we need is luck? Maybe. I just need to peek inside the courtroom. And it seemed very different to normal. There's like a bunch of lava and a ramp with like a hoop. I think they're gonna make you do some crazy stuff in court today. It would seem that a certain someone has decided to pull out all the stops. What does that mean? What about Mr. Sholmes, Iris? I don't know. He was out all night and he hadn't come home by the time I left this morning. And he went out with Mikitoba, right? I see. Was Professor Mikitoba out all night too, do you think, Miss Susato? Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently, they didn't come back to their rooms last night at all. They. Father and Judge Jigoku, I mean. Judge Jigoku, too. That's right. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday.
Carriers for the defendant in a second. Court is about to be in session. Please make your way inside the courtroom at once.
Good luck then, Runo. And good luck, Susie. Yes. Thanks, Iris. And you, Mr. Reaper. I hope it goes well. Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing. Oh, I'm so glad. We must go inside now, Lord Van Zeeks. For a Bros and Hot Tub. Behold, the latest invention showcased at the Great Exhibition. The hot tub. Lord Van Zeeks has always been the formidable prosecutor I've had to lock horns with in court. But not today. Today I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend, Kazuma Sogi, who I trust more than anyone else in the world. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. A bunch of shit I never could have possibly foreseen. Now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me. It's all been leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. Case dismissed, go home. We decided we're not gonna press charges. Where's the judge? Oh, are they? Oh, are they? Are they? Oh, I didn't think they would. Oh, I think I know what they're. Oh no. Oh no. It feels even more oppressive here than it did yesterday. There are cold stares piercing me like knives from all sides today. Mr. Naruhodo, look! Oh, not... Okay. I thought they were, for some reason, gonna manufacture a reason for Judge Jigoku to be the judge. And I was like, well, I'm suspicious of him, so that would be very, very interesting. He ate him. This is... Is he a judge? It's, in some ways, this is worse. This is interesting, though. Okay. I mean, yeah, obviously they were gonna swap out a judge for someone, but with the seat being empty. Cosma must have known beforehand. The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundations of our country's legal system. I just had a weird, like, behind-the-scenes question. Because, whenever I see the judge, I used to assume the 3D model doesn't have legs. But we know that his model has legs. So I'm like, do you think they have him in a sitting pose? Or are just his leg bones crumpled up underneath him? Back there. Anyway. The escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution. The subsequent unlawful shooting of the man. The latter. He's just crumpled up in there. And the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak. His legs are crossed over. Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all around the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in these proceedings to avoid international embarrassment. Therefore, I got rid of the actually decently good at his job impartial judge, and now I'm here. By royal decree from the Queen, this will continue to be a closed trial. And one over which I, male Strongheart, exercise total and unequivocal authority. Oh. Any subscribers? If you, yeah, I was gonna say that's a Barthetic if I've ever seen it. Ugh. What? The 6 jurors' flames? Just As was the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary, assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process. In other words, a collection of your acolytes, Lord Strongheart. On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord Van Zeeks. You were a prosecutor of exceptional talent. Much like your brother, Clint, in fact. I wish, like, the horn just snapped off and it just instantly broke. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. For the trial of Barak Van Zeeks, who officially stands accused of murder. He didn't bring his pet doves to the Old Bailey? Okay. This music. Counsels for the prosecution and defense, are you in full readiness to proceed? The defense is ready, my lord. As is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There was a side to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, that was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret, which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. And in those clandestine operations, he had an accomplice, Mr. Daily Vigil, who would be given the inspector's identification and present himself around the capital in order to establish credible alibis for Gregson. In that way, Gregson appeared to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work, when in fact, he wasn't. And at the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Vigil, who had been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. It would appear he buried his memories of the time deep inside himself as a means of self-preservation. Because whilst he was engaged as chief warder at Barclay Prison, he abetted the convict's escape, which he denies. Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating at St. Sinners. He's recovered enough to give a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson whilst investigating the Red-Headed League. He got engaged. Yeah, good for him. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed a suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch had not been wound. The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord. Really? Go ahead, Prosecutor Asogi. I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issue. She confirmed the defense's suggestion could not be ruled out. Let's go. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on 31st October, the day before his body was discovered. I have here an updated autopsy report that includes the amended details. But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday, that the time of death was 5 p.m. on 1st November. There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. It seems the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled. That's out of the question. There are no refrigeration devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate a human corpse. You've confirmed that? The entire area. My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There's evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly. Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, it would give renewed significance to the movements of the victim the day before the Fresno Street incident. It would, yes. Especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vigil to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities. Do I sense that the prosecution has some information regarding those activities? Scotland Yard put an enormous effort into investigating that precise matter yesterday. I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation work. So, the prosecution calls its first witness now. I wonder if it's someone that I know that I'm gonna be mad to see. Or if it's someone new. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I thought it was gonna be like, yeah, I saw him. Just some random dude. State your name and occupation for the court. Inspector Gina Lestrade reporting. Representative of Scotland Yard. A self-conferred rank, but never mind. Gina, again? What's your pro motto? Some guy was in the crossover, that's true. What's with that Gina again look, eh? The boss meant the world to me. He done more for me than anyone else ever did. Oh, Inspector Gregson, you mean? He got me out of the back slums of the East End and took me under his wing. Taught me that life can have a purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing here speaking for him. Oh, Gina. Right. All out of the goodness of Gregson's heart, not at all that he had his arm twisted by Mr. Sholmes, no. What's relevant to these proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations yesterday. My current theories? I really don't have a lot of theories to break down. So I didn't really get into it, because I believe that Van Zieks is not the Reaper. My gut tells me Gregson's not the Reaper, but might have been involved with something. Maybe ghosts are real. In this timeline, we know that future ghosts are real. I really don't know. I really can't say. My mind is a blank. All your theories are wrong, goodbye. That's also part of why I'm like, I don't even want to spend time theory crafting. Because I'm just strapped into the euthanasia roller coaster right now. It has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about. Ghosts are real since second case curious. Right, but within the Great Ace Attorney, ghosts have not been proven to be real yet. So, we'll see. Very troubling. That face. Lord Strongheart knew. Of course he knew. So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it says in that report. Coming right up, sir. Yeah, ghosts were invented in 2010. Or 1957. One of the two. Not even close. Exactly. So I'm like, I'd rather would just enjoy the journey. All Yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. Well, a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had a load of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled goods dealings that day. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet. What matters most is, there's witnesses what saw the Reaper at that place too. Oh. How did... Oh. Smuggled goods. I don't know, do I? I'm just telling you what was written in the book. Tobacco, tea, spices, medicines, goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. It's well known that they're disposed of at regular black markets that take place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So, Gregson was investigating one of those black markets. It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activity. No doubt, Gregson was trying to avoid details of his investigations being leaked to the involved parties. What a good guy. That would explain why he was operating at his own authority without the Yard's knowledge. And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time? In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentleman's club. And on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation into the matter. That can't be! We haven't heard anything about any of this. Members of the club have testified to it. There's no question. The accused, Barak Van Zieks, was present. That would be very significant testimony then. Oh, but Lord Van Zieks has made no mention of this at all. He was in the club. In short, Lord Van Zieks had ample opportunity to murder the victim. Very well then. Counsel for the defense, begin your cross-examination. Okay. Van Zieks breaking it down. Like Ned Flanders. All Yard detectives are supposed to follow orders. Hold it! Yeah, but not Gregson. Not Soup. I had a crush on Maria Gori when I first played because I'm bad at warning signs. Also, Santa's gone. Santa! Thanks for the bits. Why do kind of clients tell us things? Well, you know. That would make it too easy. So you follow orders, do you, Gina? Not me, I'm above all that, see? Oh. The boss always has special orders for me. Grab us some fish and chips or go and give Toby his grub. That kind of thing. Well, yeah, you gotta feed Toby. Errands more than orders, then. This detective is still an apprentice, after all. Yeah, well, This apprentice ain't one to sit around and wait to be told what to do, even by the boss. That's why I've been doing my own investigations into what happened. I didn't find much at first. I don't recall asking the judge's gun. Because Strong Heart's up to shenanigans. A little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook. Hold it! Yeah. So you went through Gregson's things. Yep, as part of the independent Lestrade investigation. I'm sure your superiors would be delighted that you're taking the initiative. So I snuck into his office when no one else was about. Of course, if anyone at the yard had seen me going in there, they'd have turfed me straight out onto the street. This is sounding less and less like an investigation and more like something else. The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who discovered the notebook. You got that right. Nothing gets past Inspector Lestrade and her trusty assistant, Chief Inspector Toby. We found it hidden in one of his desk drawers that had a false bottom. That's impressive. So then I want to hide myself where no one could find me, so I could have a butcher's at what was written in it. Cause if anyone at the yard had found me out, they'd have turfed me straight onto the street. I've given it now though. I've given it in now though, ain't I? And if it weren't for me, it never wouldn't have been found. Yeah, you can't just say Toby without showing me the dog. The boss was looking at some smuggled goods. Hold it! Toby ranking Gina. I mean, that dog gets results. Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place? Yep. It was all there in the boss's notes. Let's see if I can remember. As I already said, the illegal dealings were due to take place at a gentleman's club. Yes, I remember. But I was hoping to find out the name of the club. That won't be necessary. What? It's conceivable the club might be used again by the smugglers in future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name in these proceedings. Okay. I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's right here. All I've got to do is read it out. And I could, too. I've got this reading game buttoned up now. Hooked on phonics. It's going great. Can't I show you what I can do? Go on, what's the arm? The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. I could try to find out. What should I do? I feel like I'm gonna get a penalty. This is a closed court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked. As I explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. Which means it doesn't matter, because if anyone involved is in the gallery right now, they would be like, oh shit, they know about the club. It doesn't matter if you hide the name of the club. So this, whatever. The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine. No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection. Kazuma? There's no question Inspector Gregson was looking into these black market dealings. However, it has not yet been established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive. Oh. Right then. I'll get to show off my reading skills. Let's go, Gina. Apparently the smuggled goods deal was going to happen at a gentleman's club called The Grouse. Have I heard that before? Hold it! As the name of a location? What sort of a club is that? I ain't got the foggiest. Clubs ain't exactly my thing. But I am kind of curious. The Grouch, the Grinch. They're not places where a foreign students like you would be readily admitted. Have you looked in the mirror recently? I'll tell you what. Me and Chief Inspector Toby could go in undercover. Put Toby in like a little shirt and pants, and call him like a very dog-looking kind of dude. And where have I seen that before? Could you though? Could you? I could pick out a few good marks to see what else I could find out while I was in there. I really don't think you should go picking out anything. He has a bow tie, his hair is curled into a swirl. That's where these black market dealings were gonna take place, is it? Yeah, it's gotta be. That's what the lower-ranking detectives at the yard reckon. Says the even lower-ranking detective. A grouse is a weird-looking bird. Yeah. Looks like it was a big job and all the coppers weren't onto it yet. Hold it! So how had Inspector Gregson come to find out about it in that case? That's the question, ain't it? But I'm just an apprentice, so... And why didn't he inform Scotland Yard of his findings? Yeah, that's what I was asking myself, 'cause, you know, I'm just an apprentice. When it suits you, yes. Anyway, the point is, something went on at that club, no question. You can't say that for certain, though, surely. My name's not Shirley, it's Gina. What matters most is his witnesses. Hold it! It's all the Reaper. Lord Van Zeeks was at the club? He was. According to witness testimony, he was, and I quote, getting jiggy with it. Detectives who visited the club yesterday to make inquiries have confirmed it. Several members report having seen the accused being admitted to the room in question as a guest. He was at the club. It looks like there's no disputing he was there then. Breaking it down freaky style, Your Honor. We know that Lord Van Zeeks was investigating Inspector Gregson, don't we? Perhaps he'd already discovered the inspector's secret notebook. Which led him to the club, you mean? Maybe. I'm not gonna club shame him. Presumably then there are also eyewitnesses who can testify that Gregson was there. Right? None have been identified at this time, no. Was he in disguise? So the all-important victim wasn't seen at this mysterious club. After the first game, we checked the art book for extra characters later. Possibly, depending on time. Thank you. I made the Barry sword, you want me to send it? Sure? What? The what? Huh? The who what? The who what where? But... Who got murdered? Gregson. Gregson hitting the Orange Justice? Yeah. The all-important victim wasn't seen at this mysterious club. Well... Might have been wearing a cool hat. Oh, why aren't you asking Lestrade, eh? So that's all I've got to work with. Gina's not holding back with that ice-cold stare of hers, is she? I really don't know what to make of all this. Lord Van Zeeks told us he was investigating Inspector Gregson. But he never once mentioned he met the inspector the day before the incident. You don't think Lord Van Zeeks could have been lying to us, do you? That's not the only way to explain this. If everything Lord Van Zeeks has told us is true, there must be a mistake in this testimony somewhere. You mean there are details we've yet to uncover? Exactly. A clue, perhaps, that even Gina hasn't noticed. That's what we should be looking for here. Pull the rabbit ears, I gotta go. Hum. Yeah, same fucking thought, Spark. Same thought. Just like, there's a roadblock. Go! We explode. Something that she overlooked? Something about their movements? Or something about, like, an alibi? This might work. Looks like it should. It's the most cursed thing I've seen in a while. What is the hilt here? Is that me? Doesn't look like me. What is going on here? What is... Thank you? Thank you. I appreciate it. It's very blurst. Your sword is your life. Yeah, my soul's on that sword. Don't drop it. It's an old picture. Oh my god. Yeah, it must be pretty old then. Thank you very much for this gift. What the fuck do they want from me? Well, you know, it could be. Could be that. I mean, I don't think that, I think that that's whoever came in there was wearing it, but I don't know. What are my lines here? All yard detectives are supposed to follow orders. Little search show, no books, you don't know it. This one goes was happening in the grounds called the grouse. I need to see if I can find the grouse somewhere. I feel like I remember it coming up once, but maybe not. I don't feel confident about remembering it. That's right, appreciate it. Looks like it was a big job. The coppers weren't onto it yet. There's witnesses who saw the Reaper. I feel like it has to be line 3 or line 5. It has to either be that the smuggled goods were at a place called the Grouse, or witnesses saw the Reaper. If it's not those, the other ones are so vague, it feels weird. This is some sort of steamship ticket. The SS Grouse. Oh, I did see it before. I did see it, but That can't be coincidence, but it's a boat? That's the boat that came from Japan. And it's called Dunkirk. Huh. These updates think something of this case, if I recall. No, isn't that what it said before? I like this on purpose. This comment coming by a little sign. Boat club. Cool boat club? Professor Migatoba has wonderful handwriting, doesn't he? The dark studio young man is not the least bit untrustworthy. It's just me doesn't make sense untrustworthy. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that was different, but... Well, shit. Did I...
Objection!
Holy shit, reading the evidence. I forgot that... That's crazy. I forgot that entirely, but I was like, maybe. I've read about these clubs that exist here in Britain. And as I understand it, they're places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Don't imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be admitted. Seriously, is your mirror cracked or something? Do we know for sure that the contraband dealings were definitely happening at a club called the Grouse? The police are currently looking for evidence, but haven't found anything definitive yet. And I'm sorry to say that they probably won't. What do you mean by that? I mean that the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on 31st October may not have been a gentleman's club at all. You're showing a very irreverent attitude towards our country's police force there, Counsel. If it wasn't a gentleman's club, then what was it? A steamship. You think it's a ship. And I'm not just shipping the two of them together. I have the evidence to prove it. Let me see that. This dark-suited young man is not in the least. Good bit. Very good bit. No, the other side. Yeah, the other side. Be more specific next time. This would appear to be a ticket for passage upon a steamship, yes. The SS Groose. From a Skyward Sword.
Objection!
Oh. The angle on Strongheart is intense. There's a steamship named the Grouse that happens to share a name with the Club. But I'm afraid to say, there's a flaw in your logic there. How? Look at the ticket. Notice the date of arrival in port. The ship arrived at the port of Dover on 1st November. The day on which the sound like a gunshot was heard on Fresno Street. In other words, on the day in question here, 31st October, when the victim was on his clandestine mission. That ship hadn't yet docked on British shores. A specific bar checked? I honestly could not say. I've never been asked that question before. That would certainly make an undercover investigation somewhat challenging. The fact that the steamship hadn't yet reached Britain substantiates the defense's assertion that the victim was investigating the Grouse on the day in question. Then show your evidence for that assertion. Very well. Huh? In that case, counsel for the defense, present your evidence to the court now. Evidence that substantiates your claim that the victim was investigating the SS Grouse on 31st October. Huh? I have evidence? Susato, do I have evidence? She's just looking at me with pleading eyes. Well, have you seen the ticket? Look at the other side of the ticket. Can we tell you? No. I can figure it out. Maybe. I'll let you know if I need help. Indeterminate measure of death. Do a shot chest close range of points of body mind. Yeah. Sound. Went to the Reaper. Here's a whole rise. There's the guy advertisement. Yeah. Yeah. Does this man look like he was on a boat? Well, he hadn't wound it in a while. His ID. This had... There was a broken thing there. What was in here? And then I don't remember what this was. It's a passport for travel overseas. There it is. Right. It was for travel on the 31st. There we go. Okay, yeah, I forgot. Okay, there we go.
Take that!
Hiya! Throw the whole trunk at him. This evidence here. How is that not? How is that not it? On what planet is it not it? The proof is in the pudding? Those three equally nonsensical statements wasted 15 seconds of the court's time. You will accordingly suffer 15 seconds worth of penalty, counsel. He's stealing my time? He stole my time from me. He's a time thief. I need to pick more succinct turn of phrase. I think you might need to work on picking a more appropriate piece of evidence first. Okay. So... Okay. So it's not that, but do I have that as like a separate piece of evidence from outside that? Yes.
Take that!
Yes. It's a separate piece of evidence. Well, at least we got to see what happens when he punishes us. That'll never happen again. A passport for travel issued to the victim. Dated 31st October. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that just one day before the inspector's body was discovered, there's a distinct possibility he wasn't even in the country. And he left his ID back in England. I know to cover up for his evidence, but how long was he planning on being away? Order! This document is for passage to France. It does appear to have been officially authorized. The day before the SS Grouse arrived at Dover, it docked on the northern coast of France for a night. Thank you, Major. 92 months. France! According to my father, who was on board at the port of Dunkirk. Dunkirk, France. What could possibly have taken the victim there? I'm impressed, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I certainly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport. What? You mean you knew about this? The prosecution's strategy for this trial has been laid down by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealings at a London club. That's the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations, and the line the prosecution has been asked to follow. But personally, I don't agree. Oh-ho! I think the prosecution office is trying to hide something. What? Oh shit. And now that you've expertly disproven their assertion, I intend to reveal what I believe that something to be. This is a very fun dynamic. What are you playing at, Prosecutor Asogi? A courtroom is a forum for the truth, my lord. Which is why it's my duty to present all the facts, without exception. Let me guess. This was your intention from the outset, wasn't it? The reason Inspector Gregson secretly made his way to the steamship docked in France on the day in question was to carry out a mission for the Reaper. The Reaper? Who had escaped justice who was either in France or just in Europe? Was he going to Germany? What on earth are you saying, counsel? The prosecution made an assertion in court yesterday. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper, French Soseki. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. The Reaper peeper sneaking aboard a sheeper. A sleeper sheeper. And I'm sure everyone can imagine by the Reaper's hand. But in reality, the truth is the opposite of that. What? Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was, in fact, acting for the Reaper. So, you're saying the mission he was undertaking was, obviously, an assassination. Barak Van Zeeks never carried out any of the actual killings. Whenever the Reaper's victims lost their lives, he always had a cast-iron alibi. Which tells us that he must have had an accomplice. And you claim that was Inspector Gregson. What the hell did you think you're saying, eh? My boss would never have done nothing like that. And yet, when you consider all the facts, it all makes perfect sense. Right, Mateo Salta? Thanks for the prime.
Hold it!
Hold what? What am I supposed to hold?
No, it can't be.
Hold Toby?
I could try.
We also arrived at the same conclusion, didn't we? Quick! It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Shakes Ashley at you. That Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper. Even so, there's no way that the person giving him his orders was Lord Van Zeeks. No, the true Reaper is somebody else. Barack Van Zeeks is not the Reaper. A predictable response from someone who's advocating for the man. And even if it's true that Gregson was operating as an agent of the Reaper, the suggestion that he went aboard the SS Grouse on an assassination mission doesn't follow at all. Oh, you have some solid reason for doubting the assertion, do you, Counsel? Absolutely. It's very simple. On the day in question, nobody was killed aboard that steamship. Professor Mikotoba and Judge Yiku were on that very ship. If someone had been assassinated, I'm certain we would have heard about it. I thought he was taking the ship to France to... What's so funny? You're right, of course. No suspicious deaths were reported on board the ship. No suspicious deaths? But I think perhaps you've missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life. But Gregson did board the SS Grouse that night with the intention of dispatching his mark. But his mission ended in failure. Failure? It seems that the defense hasn't yet grasped a very important detail here. What are you talking about? What detail? Some dude ate bad food and exploded. I was thinking like Hitman. Some dude ate some food with very ominous red smoke coming off of it and died of natural causes. Inspector Gina Lestrade. What? The victim's notebook that you read an excerpt from earlier. That doesn't contain details of secret investigations at all. It describes 10 years of assassination plots to be carried out by the Reaper of the Bailey. You're lying! Even if all them bludgers what got taken out had it coming. The boss weren't the Reaper. Poor Gina. There's no question that Tobias Gregson was heavily involved in the Reaper's activities. You may just be an apprentice, but if you've spent any time at Scotland Yard, you must have heard rumors. I ain't heard nothing, and I don't believe a word of it. I haven't heard anything about the rumors that I don't believe in. Then testify again as a representative of Scotland Yard. Consider it your chance to defend your boss. I don't... I concur. The witness will give a new formal testimony. Miss Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you know about Inspector Gregson's secret notebook. I like how they make him lean forward slightly as an animation. Because the judge is always just kind of like rigidly just like, oh, what's all this? And like leaning forward is like, holy shit. The Reaper's notebook. I can't believe the notebook does have a load of stuff about what the Reaper got up to those past 10 years. Exactly, Wistful Opine. Names of victims, dates and places and stuff, and the last entry in there was 31st October. Then how did the notebook get back to his office? Oh, but maybe he left it behind the office before he left. It said grouse for the place of that date, and then the name of the mark. There was a note about him being a criminal what got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. Oh, if that name is Jigoku, I swear to God. But honest, the boss didn't do none of it. He was just investigating the Reaper, that's all. What if the name is Toby? Keep personal opinion out of your testimony, witness. She was asked to testify on why she believes Gregson's not the Reaper. And you'd be like, don't talk about your opinion. We require only established fact here. This must be so hard for her. You can't deny it now, surely, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What can't I deny? The notebook contained the name of the final mark and the location where the assassination would take place. That's information the victim could only have known if he was working with the Reaper. Or he was really good at investigating him and learned who the next mark was supposed to be. So, who was to be this final mark? Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade. Read the name for the court. The name that's written alongside the entry that mentions the grouse on 31st October. Where? Oh, did you read this then? Reading still not her strong suit. That ain't no problem, alright, Otto. It's a funny name. It ain't English. It's hard to read. Mm-hmm. Go on. So it's someone from overseas. Let me have a bash at it. Seishiro. Ah! I'm gonna eat my microphone. Yeah, Seishiro. Jig, okay, you? Maybe? What? It can't be. Seishiro Jigoku? But that's Judge Jigoku. I'm shocked and surprised and I had no idea. Seishiro Jigoku? Certainly not an English name, you're right. But that can't be right. I know Judge Jigoku, and I saw him the day before yesterday, here in London. So I know for a fact that the man hasn't been assassinated. But he might have gotten away with something 10 years ago. As I said, the Reaper failed. Oh. Gregson missed his chance to kill his mark and return to British shores. But the Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake, so he killed the inspector personally. The Reaper, of course, being the accused, Barak van Zieks. It's an undeniably logical argument. Kasuga, you planned for the trial to go this way all along, didn't you?
Hold it!
I did not expect to see that animation from that perspective. Wow. Oh, man. Front-facing foot slam.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice whilst I stand accused of murder.
Yeah, you're forgiven. Lord Van Zieks! Don't do the sniffer. The accused has no right to speak uninvited in court. You will return to the dock. I say nothing of whether or not I'm the Reaper. That's the task of this court to decide. But there is one thing I can say unequivocally. No! That girl is no detective. Well, that's right, I'm an inspector. Repeating rumors heard around the yard. Reading entries from a notebook of unconfirmed origin. That's not testimony. It's practically a script. No doubt the rest of this trial will go exactly as you've clearly planned. Oh. Ooh. Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure I am the Reaper, who sent your father to the gallows all those years ago. But you're in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself. By attempting to have me condemned with this feeble excuse for testimony. What did you say? Mr. Naruhodo, this is our chance. My lord, the defense requests the defendant be allowed to speak. He may be privy to important information relating to the testimony just given by the witness. Uh-huh. Very well. I'll make an exception and grant the request. The defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination. Then allow me to toast the court's impartiality. Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. Counsel for the defense, begin the cross-examination immediately.
At once, my lord. Oh my god.
Do you stick your thumb at me? Do you bite your thumb at me, sir? Who gave me access? I don't know. He says pockets filled with wine. Stoic does have a little stuff about what the Reaper got up to. Hold it! In other words, it shows Gregson was basically acting as the Reaper. Not you and all. That ain't the only explanation, is it? He's not. I think he's asleep. He could have been investigating the Reaper in secret, and that notebook said what he found out. If I may. When originally people began referring to me as the Reaper, I didn't object. I believe the power to intimidate London's criminal classes into compliance with the law to be beneficial. But you carried out your own investigations into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you? Yes, and those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper. One arm? What are you on about? The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of their game. There's simply no way one person could have taken them all on alone. The Reaper is an organization. With you at its head? I had spies of the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson's movements, letting me know when he was elsewhere. So I've been able to check the most recent entry in his book. I knew the location. You knew it said Grouse? Believing it to be a reference to the Gentleman's Club, I went there on the day in question to investigate, alone. That explains why several members of the club claimed to have seen you there. But of course, the inspector was not there. Because at the time, he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. Very well then, back to your testimony about the contents of this notebook. Fine. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? You seemed a little shocked by something a moment ago. Oh, no, it's all right. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? I usually am. Names of victims, dates and places and stuff, and the last entry is 31st October. Hold it! Names of victims, dates, places, and stuff. What in particular? Well, beside the victims' names, this other name kept cropping up. What other name was that? It's the one I told you yesterday. The same name, written over and over again. You mean... Asa Shin? Yeah, that's the one. She's a friend of yours or something, isn't it? Were you even listening yesterday? Asa Shin. The assassin. What? Like, a killer, you mean? Gregson was the tactician, the one who came up with the plan of attack. He investigated the marks thoroughly, finding out when they would be vulnerable and who to use to get at them. But the person actually executing his plans was someone else, you're saying? If that's true, then the Reaper does indeed start to sound like an organized group of vigilantes. Then perhaps what it said on the passport document. Permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. Could that additional person have been? Clearly the assassin who was meant to take Seishiro Jigoku's life. Then why would Gregson have gone with? Gina, can you confirm? Against the final entry that listed Grouse and Seishiro Jigoku, what name was written? Oh, well, that's the only entry that didn't have a name next to it, as it happens. Huh. It just had like a question mark or something there, I think. In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin in that case. But Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not? Oh, how infuriating. A nameless assassin. There were 13 of them, maybe 14 sometimes. It said Grouse for the place and then the name of the mark. Hold it! Hey, drummer. And you're saying the mark listed was Seishiro Jigoku. That's why I said funny name, if you ask me. And I thought your name was odd. So pleased to have lost my crown there. Mr. Jigoku is the presiding judge of Japan's Supreme Court of Judicature. I remember the man. He came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago. Studying international law and diplomacy under your tutelage, Lord Strongheart. That bearded young fellow was a very able man, I must say. So, Lord Strongheart was Judge Jigoku's mentor. If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago now. 10 years ago, after that fateful case. Precisely. In the aftermath of the professor case, his repatriation was organized immediately. It's a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook. There's just no way that could make sense. I didn't think it was possible, but the mood in here's got even worse now. Maybe I'll just keep talking. Oh, Gina. There was a note about being a criminal who got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago. Also, that's a fun character beat, and it's also a very fun segue back to picking lines of testimony. Like, wow, the vibe in here sucks. Anyway, I'm gonna keep talking. Hold it! We don't have a really easy way to pivot this back. What do you mean a criminal? He's no criminal. Right? Well, don't ask me. I don't know nothing about it. Do you remember what Father told us? That Judge Jigoku did once appear in court here in Britain. It was related to the professor case, I'm sure. Of course, you're right. Seishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the stand to testify. But in the course of providing testimony, he became complicit in the crimes. He was charged for saying contemptuous words about the British Empire. The energy in the studio is crazy right now. It was a pitiful situation, yes. He made a really good joke and no one laughed. I had forgotten all about it, but I prosecuted that trial too, as it happens. You did. It was considered to be an adjunct to the professor proceedings, you see, but he was acquitted after being told to make reparation for the damage caused to the stand. And there you have it. Have what? Surely the accused hasn't forgotten his own rule? That there's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court, guilty or innocent alike. But, no. Are you suggesting that the reason Judge Jigoku was targeted for assassination? The man was sent back to Japan immediately after that trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. But then, 10 years later, the mark returns to Britain once more. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is. Come on, that's absurd! To take someone's life for that? Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper absurd? Killing those who've been found innocent? Clearly the rules by which the man operates are beyond a sane person's comprehension. But I've had just about enough of this, Gina. All this nonsense about the boss planning to kill people is cobblers. Peach cobblers. Come on, Otto. Yeah. Well, why don't you say nothing? Why ain't you yelling out objection or something? But you've got to find a flaw. You do, usually. Yeah, usually. Someone's lying here, no question. You gotta work out who it is. Please. For the boss. That outburst was an insult to the court and to your own testimony. I might have known that a common pickpocket from the back slums couldn't make a detective. When this trial is over, you will forfeit your warrant card, Miss Lestrade. Is that clear? I've had it with the lot of you. It's lies every bleating place you look in this world, ain't it? Well, I've had enough. Gina. So have I. After that little speech of Gina's, I've made up my mind. To do what, Mr. Naruhodo? There was one point in this cross-examination when something that was said just didn't sit right with me. One statement that seemed odd. Do you mean? I'm not gonna let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears. Come on, Otto, help! You gotta find a flaw somewhere. Help! Hold it! Help! Like a Jinjo from Banjo. She's standing there going, help! I want to thank you, Gina. You helped me find the Great Ace Attorney 2 : Resolve. What do you mean? Amongst everything we've heard during the cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency. What? An inconsistency? Really, Otto? I don't quite know what it means yet, but yes, there's inconsistency in something that was said by... Oh, what, huh? Oh, can I... Oh, fuck. Cause I can't even go back far enough, can I? Oh, man. Oh, man. I was gonna go back to it, because there was that little exchange where they were like, hey, something was weird. And I was like, I didn't notice anything weird, but I'll go back to that. And then the game's like, did you remember? I'm like, huh? This doesn't usually happen like this. Not even no, so it's like either Gina or Barak Van Zeeks, possibly Kazuma. It wasn't arrogance. Maybe it was Beppo. I know, normally I'm able to be like, oh, okay, there's something there. Let me go back and actually try to work it out. So I'm being cursed for the way I approach these games. Yeah, I might just have to fuck it up. So I'm just gonna say it was Gina.
Take that!
You said something weird, Gina. Of course, by you, Gina. Was that the right answer? Of course, what's that supposed to mean, Gina? Mr. Naruto? Okay, there's just... Gina's the person giving testimony here, so... If there are any inconsistencies, they can only have been introduced by her. When he makes that face, that's the one where you know you fucked up. I don't know where you're going with this, but... Maybe the evidence you're obviously about to show the court will No! Let me... Let me go back to the testimony so I can figure out what the fuck's going on. Oh no. I'm digging myself into a deeper hole. Chat, can I get some Inviso digs? Show me the Viz subs. In that case, the defense will present evidence to substantiate its claim. I don't know what we're talking about. To which piece of evidence does this alleged inconsistency relate? Oof. Oh, so much inconsistencies. Like you, go!
Take that!
Pull the ears! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out of here! It is? The only thing that evidence proves is that the man advocating for the defendant is nothing more than an apprentice lawyer. That'll learn you to go bandying that apprentice claptrap about. Sorry, I really put my foot in there. Foot in it there. I think this line of argument has run its course. And let its failure be a lesson to all you apprentices. I better listen very carefully to the testimony again. Yeah, that's what my plan was. That's what we have to work with. May help that he's in the stand, perhaps. I'm sure Gina knows nothing she hasn't already told us. There's no point trying to get more out of her. Did you notice how Cosmo-sama reacted to Lord Van Zeek's words? When he called him an even more sinister Reaper, you mean? Well, I'm sure Cosmo intends to eliminate any shred of doubt that the man is guilty. He's looking for revenge against the person he considers to be his father's killer, after all. Did I not get a penalty? I thought I did. I do worry that if we fail to find a discrepancy in this testimony somewhere, the trial may end and adjudication won't go in our favor. Let's listen carefully again to what everybody's saying. Yeah. Never punished. Good. But I guess, yeah, I'm still at 4, so sure. So what was it on the first or the second line? It was early.
Hold it!
Shit. I mean, that is nice because I didn't present something that was wrong. The game said, okay, show us. And I was like, Gregson was acting as the Reaper. That's the only explanation. Government investigating the Reaper in secret. The notebook said what he found out. When people being Reaper and objectively in the power to intimidate but you carry out your investigations into the true identity. Yes, and they proved conclusively Gregson was an arm of the Reaper. One arm? What do you want about? The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of their game. There's no way one person could have taken them on alone. It's an organization. With you at its head? Alright, spies at the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson's movements, letting me know when he was elsewhere. Somebody will check the most recent entry. I knew the location. You said you knew it was Grouse. Believe it to be a reference to the gentleman's club. I went there on the day in question to investigate alone. That explains why someone else at the club trying to seen you there. But of course, the inspector was not there. Because at the time he was making his way to the steamship dock on the other coast of France. France! As shown by the passport. And then he's like, huh. Why, huh? Gregson was on a boat. Van Zeeks went to a club. Everyone's like, we saw Van Zeeks there. He wasn't there because he was on a steamship, as shown by the passport found in his trunk. He's making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France. What is the... Travel to France, where his body was discovered. Yeah. Departure within a week from the 31st. Police business. Wish from the applicant one additional person to travel. Huh. I don't know. Back to something about the contents of this notebook. Fine. Is something wrong? Yeah, so it has to be that. So then... Is the inconsistency with something that Kazuma said? And is the issue with the passport? Or is it something else? I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna save here. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? I'm a bit stumped, but I'm gonna try that combo and see if that gives me anything, but even if it does, I don't know why that's right.
Hold it!
If he was at the boat, then who was the boat? One inconsistency. Sora. Boil. With what Kazuma said.
Take that!
Okay. By you, Kazuma Asogi. Me? This is some attempted filibustering, counsel. Prosecutor Asogi has given no testimony. It's funny if you present Gina, there's all that dialogue, and the game's like, okay, where's your evidence? And it just kind of lets you think that that might be right, even though the vibes are bad. What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent? You let something slip that you shouldn't have. He did? Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. At the time he was making his way, the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. What did he say that what? What part of that was new information? And then... I'm overthinking this, aren't I? How I know about the trunk? Didn't Gina have the trunk? Why wouldn't he know about the trunk? And why wouldn't he know about the passport inside the trunk? We found that all super easily. I mean, the thing that is weird is that the trunk showed up after the fact. It wasn't at the scene of the crime originally. It showed up later. So, but I don't know how anything you said could have been tied to that. When I present the relevant piece of evidence, I imagine you realize what you've done. Oh, very well, go ahead. What evidence reveals this alleged inconsistency in something he said? I guess I'll just try the trunk.
Take that!
This is a trunk that belonged to Inspector Gregson. A metal construction, is it? Certainly very heavy. What's this? A blood stain, and a relatively fresh one, too. What? You mean that ain't grease from all the boss's fish and chips? Fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. That suggests that the victim was traveling with that luggage when he was killed. That can't be. There was no mention of any trunk in Scotland Yard's report. Yes, there's a reason for that. Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off with the trunk. I forgot about that was why it was, yeah. Yeah. Fucking Beppo! Open to sell it. But I found it, me, with me nose for trouble. And Toby. Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Okay. This is what I get for being 2 days removed from the last case. Yeah. Unless, of course, we're talking about somebody who was present when the victim was killed. Oh. Oh, and yet, during the cross-examination of the witness just now, you said this, Kazuma. I'm glad that the game gives you enough to work from. You can be like, maybe these two things, even if you are like me and you're like, I don't know why this is the right answer. I'm stupid, I forgot. But, yeah, chat, it's fun. There's a lot of chat policing themselves going on, and I appreciate the impulse, but it's fine, it's chill. Just, yeah, if you know what's coming in the game, just find Maya Spin or Diddles and have a good time spamming nonsense. because at the time he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. So the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk? That's the time to spin. Your fastest spin. We know the man went on a trip to France. I put two and two together. Yeah, exactly. He has plausible deniability. Where else would he have put his passport?
Objection!
He ate it. But you knew it was a metal trunk. Yeah. Answer me honestly, Kazuma. On 31st October, where exactly were you? Oh, shit. Oh! At the port of Dunkirk, on board the SS Grouse. Was he the +1? Is that the answer you're looking for, Ryunosuke? Kazuma, what did you... Put him on the witness stand. Everyone go on the witness stand. Everyone, clown car, go. I hadn't considered the possibility before, but if Kazuma was there on the ship, then it can only have been for one purpose. Oh no, Mr. Naruhodo. Surely you don't think... Come on, Ryunosuke, you know the rules. And so do I. The only thing that really talks in the courtroom is hard evidence. As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he traveled. So as it stands, you've proved nothing. Kazuma, are you challenging me to prove it beyond all reasonable doubt? That you were there that day, in the same place as the inspector. He was there? With Gregson? There's a clue that you've overlooked. A secret that Trunk can tell us. The broken bit of metal. Yeah, can you unsheath your sword real quick? I can't be sure at this point. I'll need to verify it. But I have a nasty feeling that I'm gonna be right. The accusation being made is deeply troubling, but nevertheless, we must test it. The defense will identify for the court where in the trunk this alleged clue is to be found. Where is the evidence that ties Asogi to Inspector Gregson? Well, first you gotta open it up. I'm not presenting that. And then you gotta spin around. Yeah, wait. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, whoop. Got it. Spin around.
Got it!
Hey, Skywardly. I just got here. Why is Strong at the judge? What's going on? I'm scared. Welcome. That's the correct response. There's a small piece of metal lodged in the wall of the trunk here, like the tip of a blade. A blade? Yes, Kazuma, slung around your waist as ever today, is the esteemed blade Karuma. Of course it is. Won't you draw it, here in this courtroom? For all to see? Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer. Bailiff, watch Prosecutor Asogi like a hawk. We could just have someone else do it, but that won't be necessary. Da-da-da-da. Oh, Oh no! The tip is broken. If the fragment of metal from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there with Inspector Gregson will be answered. Oh, I did drop some frames. I did have a blip on my end. Sorry about that, chat. Hope we didn't miss anything. Agreed! Kazuma Asogi. What the hell? Expertly done, Ryunosuke. That's a point to you and well deserved. Do you mean to tell the court, Prosecutor Asogi? Yes. On 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. So, the additional person authorized to travel was me. And the mission was the assassination of the Mark. Whoa, huh. Well, Well, huh. You mean you're the killer whose name was omitted from this notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders to dispatch Judge Jigoku. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have killed no one. But attempted murder? Explain. I accepted the assassination mission, yes, and I accompanied Gregson to Dunkirk. But I never had any intention of carrying out the plan. You were never gonna do it. Oh, you're claiming that you were there to like, stop Gregson? Is that what you... We can believe Kazuma-sama, I'm sure. Yeah? But if he... Well... He hates Van Zieks, but he also... If he has reason to believe that his father was framed, and that it was either Mikotoba or Jigoku, and that if he figured out who it was and was like, hey, you want to go murder this guy? And he was like, yeah, you bet. It's like... He would have motive in that case, but he's claiming the opposite, so I'm very confused. After all, Judge Jigoku arrived safely in London the following day. On the 31st, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson. We traveled to Dover, from where we crossed the channel to Dunkirk. Then we boarded the SS Grouse and made for the cabin deck, as indicated in the plan. Yeah, mistrial, 100%. This whole course, the whole case needs to be thrown out. You went to Judge Jigoku's cabin? Exactly. And then, was there like a tiny cat on the ship? And he had to pivot. Man, he wasn't there though. We decided to wait. But you've already told us you had no intention of going through with it anyway. I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life. Yeah, Wagahekin. And then he had amnesia, but then this one came back within the day. It was your cat. It was you. I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent that night at a boarding house in the town and returned to England the following morning. A boarding house in Dunkirk. My signature will be in the register book. It would be simple enough to verify. Then, what became of Jigoku? Gregson was no assassin, so the mark was spared. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that. Gregson returned to England as well, having failed to complete the mission. He met with the Reaper in that room on Fresno Street to report the failure. Wouldn't it be easier to kill Jigoku in England? Assuming that there is this criminal network and they try to kill people that go up against Van Zieks in the Old Bailey and live to tell the tale, they would have way more access and networks and experience murdering people in England. I understand if the plan was, hey, it'd be easier to kill him on the boat, but failing that, why would it be like, you failed me, death? Instead of like, okay, plan B, one of the 30 methods we've established for getting away with killing people here. This is... Obviously, this is not the full story, and I know that, but I'm just like, even within the logic of the framed story, I'm like, this is weird. Causing the infuriated mastermind to pull the trigger. And end his wretched agent's life. We will kill you. That's the real truth behind Gregson's murder.
Objection!
But if you did nothing as you claim, how did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the inspector's trunk? Thank you, Van Zieks. I don't need to answer that. But there's blood on the trunk. The trunk was taken from... The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of a Japanese blade isn't relevant to the case. And accordingly, I choose to exercise my right to silence on that matter. You can do that? They have plead the fifth equivalent in 1900 England? But be that as it may, the court will sequester the sword as evidence. That hadn't been invented. He invented it just now. As you wish, my lord. Sword has been taken in the court record. Huh. We must take immediate action now to verify whether Seishiro Jigoku remains unharmed. Remains unharmed? I agree. That should be our first priority. It's recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday. How did you... When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, It's only natural that the question of his safety should arise. You don't mean to say that you think Judge Ikoku may have been killed? The Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal, and he has the power and influence to give orders from the inside of a prison cell. He's the Joker, baby. Isn't that right, Lord Van Zeeks? If I were truly the Reaper, I'd be able to tell you. Law and order. Bang, bang. Order in the court, order! We will take an emergency recess for 30 minutes. Now, I have to take a shit. Guests of the symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. If the man can't be located within half an hour, we will have to assume the worst. Another dad swap? Not yet. Not Judge Jigoku. We had an assassin swap, kinda. No one would want to kill a harmless Japanese man who'd only just arrived in the country. Except, that is, for the Reaper wanting to finish off a mark that slipped through the net 10 years ago. I would have to agree. Mr. Naruhodo, for the defense's sake. My lord? I sincerely hope we are successful. If we're unable to confirm Mr. Jigoku's healthy existence in the next 30 minutes, we will face grave difficulties. Okay. Court is adjourned for 30 minutes. Okay. Emergency recess. So, Suzaru. Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin. I feel as though I'm in a nightmare. I can hardly believe it either. But on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories. I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful has happened to Judge Jigoku, then I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control. I felt it. Oh, I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning. That strange sensation that we were careering towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately, though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait. We're out of options. Unless, actually, there may be one last hand we can play. Or rather, one last ear. Of course. The little Mr. Shomsdal that Iris gave us. If for some reason you completely run out of options in trial, pull the little Hurley's ears as hard as you possibly can. I hope it's a pipe bomb. Perhaps now is the time. What should I do? Pull Hurley's ears or not? I have to save because I have to say no, don't. Nah, leave it. Nah. This is one of Iris's inventions. There's no telling what might happen. For all I know, it could cause a huge explosion. That's the likeliest scenario. I'm not sure you should be thinking like that, Mr. Naruhodo. Compared to the trial ending immediately after this recess, a huge explosion might be preferable. I'm not sure you should be thinking like that, Mrs. Zato. But I suppose you're right. If there was ever a time for taking a risk, it's now. Here goes then. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I was just like, either it's a false choice or it just goes, all right, I'm back. Case closed. He's guilty. And just immediately game overs. Our new evidence? Yeah, we got the sword. We did get that. Sword. If I had a nickel for every time the courtroom blew up, I would have more than one, which is... I would have more than 0, which is alarming. Karma the Great Blade, it's such a thing of beauty. I want to gaze on it for hours. Beautiful sword, isn't it? Spin it around. Mm-hmm. The tip of the great sword, broken. Such a shame. It's been so meticulously cared for over the years. I can almost hear Karma's sobs. Kazuma must have really taken a swing for that to happen. Is that it? Feels like there's gotta be something more, but I don't see it. Not usually curved. They removed them all when everyone in the was very cute. They removed it. Oh, so when you see him, he doesn't have the sword. That's a nice detail. Good luck, Mr. Naruhodo. No looking back. Heave. Ow. That scream sounded like Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, where are you? Here, my dear fellow, here.
He's been turned into a rabbit.
It's the felt doll talking. Pull the ears again, Mr. Naruhodo, as hard as you can. All right, then. I'll put all my strength into it. Heave. Ow.
Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull my ear off.
Iris invented the cell phone? Mr. Sholmes, where are you? Myself and my trusty partner are presently in the first-class cabin area of the SS Grouse.
The grouse?
She left over last night after the final pieces of cargo were loaded. Oh. We are currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to be underway again in half an hour. I don't like the way it jumped onto his ear. We're stretching the realm of possibility. You've taken a ship to France? Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port. So last night when Mikotobo's like, hey, I have something else to tell you, and Sholmes was like, we gotta go, we gotta go. They immediately went all the way to fucking Dover, and then, what the, that's fucking absurd. In order to board this vessel in time. Be right back, yeah. I don't like him doing a side eye over at the doll. You mean you've already worked it out? The radio lady from the case on the previous game? Yeah, I do. This is just really advanced Morse code. The steamship was where everything really took place. Mr. Naruhodo, pray, what is my name? Herlock Sholmes, world-famous great detective. Recited to perfection, well done. You're a genius, Mr. Sholmes. That's the only word for it. Oh god. Ow, 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 ow. Miss Suzato, gently with this genius's ear, please. I like how Iris could have gone, yeah, when you pull the ear, it establishes this connection that I won't explain and makes like a ringing sound, like a bell goes off. No. The doll is haunted and comes to life and pulls on his ear when you're ready to make a call. Hey, well, I'm ever so sorry. If I may, Sholmes. Ah, there you are, Mikotoba. You may remember that it was, in fact, I who made the connection to the SS Grouse. At Scotland Yard yesterday, when we examined that notebook, and I recalled my steamship ticket. But of course it was, my dear fellow. And not once did I controvert the fact. I merely had our court-bound companions utter my name. You did, didn't you? You did. You did. You already worked it out? Pray, what is my name? Herlock Sholmes, that's my name. Technically true. Technically true. He did not... Okay. Well. We've just entered a recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now. And if we're unable to present any new leads, then I'm afraid to say. Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I have no doubt we shall have welcome news for you within the half hour. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. That would be wonderful. Until later, then. Yes, you'll be hearing from us if you're not in touch first. Ow, 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 ow. I shan't be hearing anything if you keep tugging my ear in that mindless fashion. What was the idea behind making receiver operated in that way in the first place, Sholmes? Why the deuce would I know? It's Iris's invention, not mine. Deuce. Whilst I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Sholmes, we have but half that now before the grouse puts to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigations rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. There are times, Mikotoba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin. This is very fun. Naturally. I don't remember his hair looking like that. First class... Oh, no, a mouse check. Ooh, look, Chad. Jeez. First class cabin number 2. This is the one. Can I save? I sure probably hope so. Yeah. I hope that this isn't the same sailor from before. I hope that this is like his brother, which is good. I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. That crewman standing in front of the door is an angry-looking fellow. Yeah, we're on a different ship. That was the SS Buria.
Why are you loitering here? Who are you?
My dear fellow, do you not recognize a world-famous great detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you?
Do you not recognize world-traveling great sailor Chicken Stroganoff when you see...
Sholmes...
Great detective? I don't think so.
Was his hair like that before? Do you see that, Mikotoba? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine. Sholmes... Goodness me, is that a tattoo that says Sholmes? I must say, while such adoration is flattering, naturally, it does leave me a bit cold.
What are you talking about? Leave now.
Is that upside down? Something else? Oh, it's gone. How distressing. My loyal devotee knows me only by my name and not by appearance. And yet, I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he's a shipman. His brother was beef stroganoff, and he's chicken stroganoff. Oh, his name was Beef, and then I continued the beef swap bit. Oh, beef and chicken. Brothers, like yourself, he's a shipman. Currently traveling the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact.
How could you know this?
Elementary, my dear Mikotoba. I'm sure it was. That he didn't say. Mikotoba didn't say that. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard this ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jigoku.
There is no one with this name on board.
But we know that he purchased a ticket for passage.
Ah, you mean Eastern Man. He left ship 2 hours ago. Here at Dunkirk, he said something about emergency, I think.
What? Are you sure? Seishio's realized that we're after him, has he? His cabin is the one behind you. We should like to investigate, please.
No, I have orders not to let even mouse inside.
Mikotoba, be a good man and draw the sailor's attention away, would you? Saying this in front of him. Make up some excuse so he leaves the area.
Doesn't great detective see that even sailors have ears, left and right? Curses! The plan is ruined!
And you have only yourself to blame, I'm afraid, Sholmes.
Forget it. Cabin door is locked. Even if I am not here, you cannot get inside.
Well, we go next door and sneak in through the vents, if it's the same manufacturer as the Borea. Mikotoba, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talents, have you? Opening any lock. Within a mere 5 seconds. So if you'd be so kind as to afford me the requisite time, old friend, in your typically accommodating manner. How could I refuse such a typically unappealing request, old friend? So I need to distract that burly sailor for 5 seconds, do I? Good man, so... The game is afoot. Oh my god. Neat. Oh, I will check it. Don't you worry. This is nuts. Also, very fun way to add an investigation mid-trial and make it plausible. Yeah, sure. This must be a mousetrap, I think. Perhaps I could distract the crewman's attention with this somehow. Choo, choo!
That sounds like Big Mouse and Trap.
Choo, choo!
I will bring bucket of water later and put out the misery.
I don't like the sound of that. In any case, my dear fellow, that was quite unconvincing. Only Japanese mice make a choo sound. Oh, really, Sholmes? And pray tell, what sound do Russian mice make? PP, naturally. Though also quite unconvincing, I readily admit. So go ahead, Mikotoba, do a PP this time. No, thank you. I'm sure I can come up with an alternative solution. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how that works. Pikachu. He's like a Neo-Temple Guardian statue, this fellow. The way he's glaring at us so fiercely. Tell me, why are you standing guard here if the cabin is unoccupied?
Because this area is only for first-class passengers. We must look out for suspicious criminals. Criminals.
He was looking straight at me when he said that. My dear fellow, as you can plainly see, we're quite unsuspicious as criminals go.
But still, criminals.
No, for goodness sake, Sholmes, tell the man. We're neither suspicious nor criminals. Yeah, that's quite right, Mikotoba.
Curses, the seaman is far too able for his own good.
Be extremely careful in what you say. One of us ought to be, yes. I really like the idea that, we have half an hour and we spend 20 of those minutes just failing to get inside of an individual room. This is what was shared. Can I... New tab. Spoilers for Resolve Case 5. You must lead him away so I may pick that lock. Very well. Jez. What to do? Choo choo choo. I'm a little mouse. Ooh, cheese. I am but a tiny fellow. You best walk over here and step on little old me, choo.
What the fuck? Why isn't this working?
Meanwhile, very good shows there. Is that... Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I also agree, Karina. This entire game I will never recover from. I'm just tiny mouse, choo choo. Oh, please step on. No. 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 Was that what sets off the alarm? That is the... Does that set off the alarm? That's another first-class cabin, and yet its door is completely unguarded. Empty as well. I had a quick look inside earlier. Though I confess I didn't investigate the wardrobe. There may very well be a young Japanese fellow inside, perspiring merrily. If you're referring to Naruhodo, you know very well that he's currently perspiring merrily in court. Doesn't it strike you, though, Mikotoba? Why the man stands guard only in front of this cabin, when both are apparently vacant? Uh-huh. Morning Star, yeah, I was gonna... That's a speaking tube for members of the crew to communicate with each other around the crypt. The ship. If I could just persuade our stocky sailor friend that he needed to use it. Sholmes could unlock the door whilst he was distracted. He's in the crypt. The question is, how? This ship is a crypt. That's the way back to the deck, but we can't give up on this now. Does this set off the alarm? Or does the alarm set off the alarm? I don't remember. Which one should I do first? I mean, I saved, so it's fine. Oh, the switch for the electrical lights. That's what that is. Perhaps if I were to turn off the lights, the crewman wouldn't be able to see what we were doing. Try the cheese again? That's a really good idea. No, that would never work. But what if I was a mouse? Choo! Choo! That's Big Mouse. Choo! Didn't work. PP, naturally. Naturally. No, thank you. I'm gonna try to turn the lights off. What is happening? Where is light? Now, Sholmes, now!
Nobody there.
That was a close shave. Quite a knack you have. Knack! Stumbling so violently in an apparently empty corridor. Do be quiet, Sholmes. I shall have to think of another approach. What if I set off the alarm? Ooh, cheese! This would appear to be an alarm bell. All hell would break loose if that were to ring. The whole crew would know about it. Think sound effects. 40 months! Are we flashbacking? Actually, no. We're sidetracking. Here goes. Pardon me in advance.
You, what are you doing? If we were at sea, that would be very bad problem.
What's going on down there? Seaman Shogunov, report at once.
Sorry, sir, nothing to report. It was just stupid trick. No, not by me, by world famous. No, as I told you. Now, Sholmes, now.
Done. Not even 5 seconds, eh? Well, don't stand there gawping at my brilliance, Mikotoba, in we go. Just collide with the door and get concussed. That's where the rules of... No, the rules are on the left. Or were they moved from there? Oh, Uh-huh.
Good gracious.
It would appear that the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather hurriedly.
Yeah, he was raptured.
Those clothes on the floor there, they're Seishiro's without question. Well, it just seems we're just a little too late. Yes, by about 2 hours. Still, whilst we're here, we should investigate thoroughly. There may well be 2 hours worth of clues to find in here, but that burly crewman may return at any moment, Sholmes. Indeed he may, which makes this all the more thrilling. Good scamping music. There's a speaking tube here, look, though it's been stoppered with some cloth. So the voices of the crewmen on the bridge aren't an annoyance, I suppose. Or indeed, so that the voices in this cabin aren't heard elsewhere. Could something have happened in here that was for no one else's ears, do you think? Either that, or it could be to prevent snakes from entering. That's really become a favorite case of yours, hasn't it? Snakes. Quite the exquisite glass, I must say. See here how it... Is something wrong, Sholmes? You suddenly trailed off. Ice, Mikotoba, ice. What opulence the first-class passengers enjoy. Chilled drinks. Pardon? Could it be that this steamship is equipped with an electrically refrigerated cold room, do you think? It is a luxury liner, after all. They have enormous refrigerators for storing all sorts of lavish produce, as well as ice. On our voyage from Japan, we enjoyed culinary delights from all over the world. Suddenly, Mikotoba, the sight of you is making my mouth water. I haven't taken on the flavor of the food I ate, you know? Old man Yaoi. Yeah, that was quite a line. According to the report I was given, Naruhodo was concealing himself in Asogi's wardrobe. Indeed he was, and it was of similar size to this one. You must climb inside yourself, my dear fellow. Whatever for? It was the site of my first fateful meeting with Mr. Naruhodo. You can experience the moment for yourself now, complete with my dramatic rhetoric. Come along now, in you go. This will only take a moment.
Really, Sholmes, surely you can just tell me what you said?
Well, I uttered some brilliant remark and opened the wardrobe to reveal the stowaway murderer. I think I'll just read about it in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. This is the waste paper basket, Luke, and there's still rubbish inside. Indeed, and then I let us pry. I've discovered recently I have a penchant for exploring the contents of others' waste paper baskets. I sincerely hope only for your work. Ah. That was your dead hero's partner. He wasn't just your hero's partner, he was also your hero's partner. Here we have a notice issued to passengers from 3 days ago. 3 days ago, the night before we arrived in London then, when I was still aboard myself. Evacuation drill. Following departure from Port Dunkirk, all crew. Oh yes, there was an evacuation drill, I remember that now. For our safety and security, all first-class passengers were constantly under the watchful eye of the crew. So it was a welcome relief to have some privacy for once. That's like 10 years ago. Oh, I don't get to actually... We beamed that over to Ryunosuke. I don't have a court record. That's a substantial heap of clothes on the floor. An overcoat, shirts, a dressing gown.
Momohiki work trousers, a Tenzin robe, a haramaki waistband. Clearly the clothing of a Japanese man. And clearly, Japanese men are unaccustomed to the culture of the wardrobe. It looks to me as if they've been thrown in a heap like that in something of a hurry. Indeed, you could help yourself to a Japanese man's shirts, perhaps. I'm sure you made mention of packing too few. I'd very likely drown in one of Seishiro's shirts. No, I'll just buy any extras I need, I think. Plenty of reading material to keep passengers occupied on the long sea voyages. I found the mixture of classic literature and easy reading to be most satisfactory, I must say. Whoever stocked this bookcase was a hopeless heretic. There's no copy of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, my dear fellows. Why are you saying yeah, I was like fellows plural? I'm afraid it's just me, but no, you're quite right. More blasphemous than overlooking the Bible. I shall leave a copy behind. I just happen to have one with me. You're a true missionary of the Church of Great Detectives, aren't you? Yes, he is. All the doors on this vessel have locks, I believe. A wise idea. You never know where and when criminals may strike. But of course, to the great detective Sherlock Holmes, lock, bolt, or shirt button, it makes no difference. Or like, if the ship tilts a bit, all are unfastened with equal ease. The way you go on, you sound rather more like a great thief than a great detective. Shirt button. My dear Mikotoba, as long as there is greatness, I am quite satisfied. Of course you are. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Time and place. He's got something on his mind. The wall is a slightly different color just here, do you see? Indeed, what you have observed arises when a frame that has been hanging for some time is removed. Perhaps your friend is an art thief. Now, there's a bold deduction worthy of a great detective, I'm sure. He may very well be the elusive thief who has been plaguing France's galleries of late. I think perhaps we should focus our attentions elsewhere, Sholmes, don't you? That outline on the wall. I feel as though I might have spotted something of a similar shape and size elsewhere. Like this? These are the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Additionally, there are severe punishments for stowing away in wardrobes and/or travel cases. I feel the rules have increased since I last read them. Probably just my imagination. What about the fact that they're not straight on the wall? Doesn't that strike you? You may be right. Probably just your imagination, though, a trifle. You know what I always say, Mikotoba? There is nothing important about trifles. It's not where I thought he was gonna go with that. Probably just my imagination, but I think that might be slightly off. Okay, can I not investigate it further? It's a very sizable trunk indeed. Seishiro's marshaled all things large. And a rather clumsy fellow if he failed to notice he'd left that behind. Perhaps he left it on purpose. It's lighter than you might think, but still a hindrance to a speedy escape. Pity. It's locked. We can't look inside. Surely 5 seconds from now the situation will be quite different, though. Sadly not. It has a 7-digit combination lock. And I'm not in a morose enough mood to work through all the combinations at present. You're still here. Able Seaman Stroganoff, hello again. I was beginning to think you'd never materialize. You are waiting for me? Oh, 7 digits. S-H-O-L-M-E-S. Okay. Got it. Of course, I was expecting you to burst in with a hearty Russian profanity far sooner. I was in trouble with Captain because of trick you played before. Poor innocent chicken. It is all your fault. Ship is leaving port soon. Get off now. Of course, we shall disembark presently, my dear fellow. But first, there is something that must be done. What are you talking about? Why, naturally, the debunking of your deceit and the bearing of the truth. Kakoi? I was gonna say, there's something we have to do, and that thing is this.
We be pirates, we love to sail the seven seas. Just a bunch of scallywags who are as free can be. We swim through storms and waves, all because you see grand treasure and adventures waiting just for me.
I'm afraid I see through your lies. For one thing, Mr. Jigoku has not yet left this vessel at all. Ugh. And for another, my dear Seaman Stroganoff, you know exactly where the man is even as we speak, don't you? How? How can you? Good gracious, Sholmes, you mean you've worked it out? All of it? I'm just trying to wrap my head around why Judge Jigoku would have Sholmes' name upside down as a code. Unless it's just coincidence. It's really been too long, hasn't it, old friend? 10 years, no less. So, would you care to join me for a dance of my inimitable logic and reasoning? Nothing would please me more. What is this? We have but minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No games now. Yes! Oh! The time is of the essence! Mr. Stroganoff, allow me to remind you of your earlier claim. You told us that Jigoku left the ship some 2 hours ago. That is what I said. Sadly, that was a rather clumsy lie. You see, there is something in this room that quite clearly contradicts it. What? Ah, yes, of course. I see you've noted it too, Mikotoba. Then please do take the lead. What in this cabin shows the impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked 2 hours ago? Let's see what the last 3 years have done to your observational skills then, Mikotoba. Pick the wrong answers? Sure thing. It's been 10 years since we last did this, Sholmes, not 3. Why, of course it has, quite. Now, all the clues are here in this cabin for your eyes to see. But as I always say, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe, and the answers become clear. Yeah, I'll save. Impress me. I think I can manage that. Wrong answers only. Oh. I can't save. You have to save during the dialogue. Well, well.
Nice.
Glass containing ice, rules of passage, rules of nature, waste paper basket. Is it Stroganoff himself? The bookshelf? What's drunk? Thank you. Not only Sholmes attention to get things in the train, you start chicken time. I went with this 10 you want. Yeah, he did. Sholmes has been shitposting this whole time really means that he looked at the diamond and was like, you know, it'd be really funny. Yes. Has he been shit? Is that a reveal? Is it revealed he's been shitposting the whole time? I think that he's just the way that he is. Who knows? I don't think I had a moment where I was like, wait, it's all an act. I'm like, no, I think that's just how he is. Who knows? Could y'all have experienced the game? Yeah. Also, yeah, you could just, I know you're excited. It's the cabin door.
Take that!
Oh. Mikotoba, no games now were my words, were they not? Come, Sholmes, where's the fun in life without a little fooling around, Hey, yo. Well, now I can save. Yeah. I'll save on this line. Of all things. Quite right you are. That was a close shave. I'd better rethink that before I'm the fool here. Is there... He didn't disembark, that was a lie. Of course it was. There was something melt away before our very eyes. Melt away? So you mean the trunk?
Take that!
Mikotoba, no games. Okay. There's no other special dialogue there. Alright. It's the same for each section. Alright. Good to know. Bum 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 bum. The ice. My ice. My ice. My ice. Mice. Mice. cheese. The cheese outside is the clue. Perhaps you should have cleared away that glass. How curious that the ice shouldn't have melted despite it being abandoned 2 hours ago. Duh. It would appear that the man was here in this very cabin until moments before our arrival. He heard a large mouse outside the room and got scared and hid. With this well-chilled glass in hand, get your mind off the refreshments, Sholmes. One might even conclude that somebody informed him of our boarding. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Stroganoff? But why would Seishiro run from us? Before we consider that question, allow me to confirm one small matter. Would I be correct in saying that these first-class cabins of the SS Grouse are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jigoku were accommodated on your voyage from Japan? That's right, they are. I was in the cabin next door and Seishiro was, yes. 50 days in this very cabin during our voyage. As I suspected, for you see. There are traces in this cabin of a dark secret that Mr. Jigoku had to hide. What traces? I know nothing about this. This is news to you, is it, Mr. Stroganoff? Sholmes, what exactly are you getting at? As I said, it's fucking stanced up like Akuma there. There are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm quite sure won't have escaped your notice. Something out of place in here. There we go. He is Judge Hell. It would be appropriate. That's the key to this, Mikotoba. The remnants of the dark deed that took place in here are being masked by something quite incongruous. I must say I didn't foresee ever doing this dance of deduction with you again, Mikotoba. No, quite, but life is full of unexpected twists and turns, as we well know. Now then, let's see if I can't uncover the truth here. I'll save here, so it's quicker. Yeah, this is great. Yes, you have the floor, my dear fellow. No, it's the dark deed that took place. Is obviously the door!
Take that!
Well. Mikotoba, no games now are my words, were they not? That's the same? Is there anything else? Or is it just this every time? It's the same throughout. Okay. Can I examine? No, I can't examine. It's the same. Okay, gotcha. It's all the same. Understood. Yeah, I can't. I can only history and present. Is it this?
Take that!
Okay, that was a genuine guess. Unless... I probably don't have to load my save. I can take some hits. Unless... Yeah.
Take that!
Well. There's do. Okay. I was asked to pick the wrong answers intentionally. So I just want to make sure. He's just going to be extremely explicit with, here's a hint. You must tilt your head to one side and listen carefully to the faint cries of the scene. Hear the evidence calling out for you to find it. Here I am, it cries. Your methods were never conventional, but you know I've always been willing to give them a try. Dear God, Mikotoba, open your eyes. It was a metaphorical listening that I was suggesting. Ah, okay, that's the dialogue you meant. Did you mean this?
Take that!
That's, it's the same as the move thing. Sure! It's the rules of passage in this frame here. They're obviously out of place. That should have worked for the thing, whatever. The way they're hanging crooked on the wall, as if they were put there in a hurry. Yes, as I'm sure you've already concluded. That frame was originally over here. The shape and size are a perfect match. You're right. When did frame move? Hardly the most observant of crewmen, are you, Mr. Stroganoff? I would think your captain is quite justified in having his reservations about your reliability. That really seemed to touch a nerve. So, Mikotoba, why don't you lift that frame off the wall? There we go. Aha. That looks like a bullet hole. What? Who has been shooting walls? I see. The projectile's been removed. Clearly, the careful occupant of this room has already disposed of it. Now then, Mr. Stroganoff. Duh. I have the distinct impression that you're attempting to shield said occupant. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I protect Eastern Stranger? Oh, so we're talking about the same man, I see. Good. Duh. He knows that we know this was his room. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time, aren't you? Because there's some very noteworthy evidence that explains the reason why you're lying for the man. Yes, you've been told to keep up this pretense as clearly shown by... I really don't know how to approach this one, Sholmes. Ah, my dear Mikotoba, simply keep first principles in mind. Study your subject from every angle, and I'm quite sure you'll see it. In fact, I'd put a wager on it. So I'm to glare at the fellow from all sides? Well, I can certainly do that. Spin him around. Why, it's clearly the scarf!
Take that!
No games now. Aha, quite right. It's probably the midriff. So a Russian crewman is aiding a Japanese man to evade capture by an English detective. Nationality needn't come into it. In this respect, at least, all humans are the same. Ask yourself what can spur a man to do the bidding of another about whom he knows precious little. There's only one thing in the whole world with such repugnant, bottomless power. Let's not get carried away now, Sholmes. Does it... Oh, chunky arms. I would wish that that has a very specific fail message, but it's probably the same. Hiya! What are banknotes? Let me look at the number again, though. 5231045. That's the same as the code on my baggage. Yeah.
Take that!
Then there's Chunky. It's almost too obvious for words. Quite. The universal language of the world. Moni. That ass. And I'd wager that the Eastern fellow in question is Seishiro Jigoku, yes? Gah! So, I presume you realize what this means? There are clear signs that a crime has been committed in this cabin. And the way you're going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being an accomplice. But... I believe you know, Mr. Stroganoff. You know where Mr. Jigoku is hiding at this precise moment in time. As always, Mikotoba, in matters of deduction, the furtive glance is your unfaltering ally. I think you're onto something there, Sholmes. You've found the chink in this burly fellow's armor. We need only follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. The slightest flicker of the pupils, a minutely delayed blink. Nothing escapes my attention, even that which is barely perceptible. You could hardly call this barely perceptible, Sholmes. The man's turned his entire head. It's not exactly what you describe as a furtive glance, is it? It's almost too obvious. Follow his gaze. Follow his gaze. We shall let your tapping toes decide, my dear fellow. He's literally just looking at it. Well, then he means the trash can.
Take that!
What do you mean? He's not hiding in the trash can? I thought he was curled up in there. That's crazy. So, you really think he's hiding in here as we speak? Curled up in a ball at this very moment. But as I said earlier, we've no time for games today. I quite understand. I'll make this as quick as I can. Seaman Stroganoff will be suffering neck fatigue before long, I should think. Oh. I was gonna load my save so I don't explode. What if I just explode? What happens? What happens if I explode here?
The boat explodes. There was an anti-gravity device in the engine room.
It seems we've followed this single strand of reasoning to its unsatisfactory conclusion. Perhaps you're a little out of practice after 10 years of absence from brilliance. It's a long time to go without a paradiddle.
Paradiddle?
I confess my feet are a little rusty.
Is that like a parachuting Ned Flanders?
Your feet are the least of your worries. The oxidation has gone to the brain, I fear. Let us take to the dance floor again with renewed vigor. Try to stop me. I'm itching to tap out the true answer to this riddle. What is this?
Okay, they just put you right back. From the beginning?
Time is of the essence.
Duh. Cool. Of course. The trial's been long over. Should I just load my save? I'll just load my save. It would take too long to go back through all this.
Aye. His furtive glance.
Take that!
I was like, it seems like a stretch to go back to the court and have a whole scene.
You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you? The truth is, Seishiro Jigoku was unable to escape from the ship in time, and is at this very moment doing his best to stifle his breath inside this trunk.
The furtive pygmy, who?
If he still has a breath to take, I fear he may be running dangerously low on air. I imagine he didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite so long. I think it would be in everyone's best interest for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible. But how can we? Are you forgetting about the combination lock? We don't know the 7-digit code. The combination lock can't be opened from inside the trunk. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for somebody to open it after our departure. Of course. In short, before Jigoku hid himself inside that trunk, he must have told somebody the 7-digit number for the lock. And I'm sure you can confirm, Mr. Stroganov. Gulp. No, I know nothing about combination code. Don't move a muscle, my good seaman. Seaman for the Dreamcast? Correct. Now, Mikotoba, would you do the honors and open the trunk? How on earth do you expect me to... It's a 7-digit number, remember? Quickly now, we have little time.
Oh.
Review scene.
Return to question. Will I explode if I get this wrong? How much, when did I last save?
Take that!
I'm fine. I can explode a little bit more.
It's refusing to open. Tell me, what number did you use? Well, to begin with, I thought I'd try my birthday. 00000. Your birthday? Interesting. Since as of today, with that absurd guesswork, you're dead to me. Oh. As measured as ever in response, Sholmes. Holy shit. If you would only look in the right place, Mikotoba, the answer would be staring you in the face. The right place.
Oh, savior. I have 1 HP.
I'm dying over here. If you're having a spot of bother, I always find standing on my head aids the cognitive processes.
Uh-huh.
It's fun they make you put it in. So what was it? 5, 2, 3.
It only goes up to... Okay.
523 1045. Why, that's my birthday, it is.
Take that!
When the original Japanese film was almost they changed both the texture lists on the model, the trunk, and the UI from putting the code. That is a lot. You're right.
That did it. It's open. You had to meddle, didn't you? If it weren't for you meddling kids. Hello. Normal man behavior here. Well, Eugene, you found me now. Seishiro. Yahaha, you found me. I was really hoping beyond hope not to find you here, you know. But you're not entirely unsurprised, I take it. No, quite. I just wish it were some other way. Well, are you ever going to introduce me? Your reputation precedes you, Mr. Sholmes. I've read stories of many of your exploits. Excuse my manners, Sholmes. This is Mr. Jigoku, my old friend and traveling companion. The devil's in the details, Mikotoba. I believe you meant to say your old friend and traveling companion who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without a word to anyone when things turned sour. It's very sugar with no cap. Nice. I see my reputation precedes me as well. What an honor. Well, Seishiro, are you going to explain all this? You know it all by now, I imagine. What you didn't know, of course, is that 3 days ago, on the night before our arrival in Britain, an attempt was made on my life here on this very ship. By the Reaper of the Bailey, yes, I've since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you? 10 years ago now, mind you. And I had no idea at the time what a dangerous individual he was. Anyway, when we arrived in London to find the symposium was postponed until goodness knows when, it became all too apparent to me that I might very well be targeted again. So you decided to flee the capital without saying a word to me about it? I'm afraid so, yes. Of course I realize now that I really ought to have confided in you. There's a really nice detail with his animation that, when he moves his head down, his beard kind of curls up a bit instead of just clipping all the way through his chest, which would have been way easier to animate. It's really nice. It's somewhat surprising, I must say. What is? Well, first-class cabins aboard luxury steamships are in very short supply. It's more than a little hard to believe that this one just happened to be available. And so says the protagonist of some colorful short stories. Well, I don't care for your opinion. The cabin did just happen to be available, so I purchased a ticket and here I am. I've just seen for myself the obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin. So you'd already purchased your return tickets before we even docked in Dover, had you? To prevent anyone else taking this cabin and seeing the evidence, is that it? Eugene, I have nothing to say to you. Well, in a mere 5 minutes, this ship will set off on its onward voyage and not make port again until Italy. I'm afraid we must insist that you disembark with us at once. You have no jurisdiction over my movements. We have this, Seishiro. Take it. Thanks, Sotomo, for gifting a sub to Jigoku. Oh, what is it? It's a subpoena from the Old Bailey. You're a man of the law. You know what the ramifications of ignoring a document like this from the British courts would be. It's a gift sub. You came prepared then, Eugene. Oh, that's a new face from him. Come on, let's go. One moment. What is it, Chomes? Inside Mr. Jigoku's trunk, I found this rather fascinating trinket. What is that, Seishiro? I can't help you, I'm afraid. Some small components from something. But what, I have no idea. By the look on his face, I think he genuinely doesn't know. Well, let us pocket it as a small souvenir of our brief sojourn in France. France. Okay. Well, young Naruhodo, I think we've done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on the shoulders of you and your assistant. Whoever she is. Why did he phrase it like that? Thanks for the bits, please. Kazuma Sogi. I know you, and I know you wouldn't lie, but still, there's no doubt that you're holding something back. You know more than you're saying. During the past 30 minutes while this court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But we had 30 minutes, so like,
It wasn't a very realistic outcome.
But sadly, Mr. Jigoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained. We must accept the unfortunate conclusion that the Reaper has already done the deed.
And act in court accordingly is crazy.
There's no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict.
Like a Cyclock or a Psycor.
No, the trial cannot end now. You're a Japanese man, Ryunosuke. You should know when to lay down your sword. And you should know never to presume when the battle is won. The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony. And there can only be one conclusion, that the accused is guilty. All relevant testimony? Far from it. There's still a crucial witness, from whom the court is yet to hear a single word of testimony. In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel.
Who?
Yes, my lord. Tomorrow, if possible.
Can we show up tomorrow? Also, do I have the new evidence?
I do. I do. Find a person reported on the main deck at 10 p.m. in order to review evacuation procedures. Drill take place. Take 20 minutes. Crew does as soon as the drill's over.
Okay. So we had a 20-minute window when shenanigans could have occurred.
And we have this. You see these little things all over the place, don't you? It's the part on the top of a pocket watch that you twist to set the time.
Oh.
It's called the crown, I believe. A watch would be quite useless without one. Oh. The crown, like what sits on the monarch's head? That's a very grand name for such a tiny part. Thank you, Ozul. Gift this other went to Tesla. It all comes back to clocks. Yes, it does. But actually, yes, Mr. Naruhodo, if this is a crown, I have a feeling I might have seen a monarch around here somewhere with a very bare head. If by monarch I mean pocket watch, then I'm quite sure you have. That would, well, on the one hand, that would make sense that there's a second way to wind the clock. It's at the, was it just for, I don't know. Who the hell, why would someone already have Paratiddles as a username? Thank you. Anyway, can we show up tomorrow? My, Toby ate my homework, and I need another day. The witness is already on his way and scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Yeah, I got my wires crossed. It's different, guys. Who on earth is this crucial witness? Yeah, it's just for saying the time. Seishiro Jigoku. The very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper. Judge Jigoku? You found him?
Yep. With the help of a magic bunny that I talk into, and Sholmes tells me what he found.
But the investigations of every policing resource in the capital suggest that Jigoku is already dead. How in the name of God did you find the man? He was located in France during the recess at the port of Dunkirk. Don't ask me how I know. Please don't ask me how I know. Evil guy, thanks for 90 months. You got a donut? Hell yeah. Thanks to one of Mr. Herlock Sholmes' famous deductions. Herlock Sholmes. Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Mr. Jigoku on the night of his death. Because, along with Prosecutor Asogi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Which means that Seishiro Jigoku is the sole witness who can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Grouse on the 31st October. Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move to adjudication at this point. The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered. In that case, I hereby call the end of today's proceedings. Court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow. No objections from either side? No, my lord. No objections, lady? No objections, my lord. We live to fight another day. By the skin of our teeth.
3-day trial. A 3-day trial. A 3-day trial. The tale of a broken case. A case that made me lose my mind and went to outer space. Ugh. Gah. A 3-hour tour. The unexpected halt to proceedings sent a clamor around the courtroom. But outside the Bailey, where Londoners knew nothing of the secret trial within, it was a typical still night. Then, at a little past 8 o'clock that evening, Mr. Sholmes and his partner returned to Baker Street. Is it that quick to get... Alright. What the... What the hell? We've returned, my dear fellows. Welcome back to Britain, and thank you for your timely help. The kids know... I'm sure people know of Gilligan's Island, right? 2 more gifted subs. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Think nothing of it. I believe you've had an even more wearing day than Mikatoba and I know. You could say that. Professor, are you wearing tap shoes? We're on the brink of defeat in court earlier. So this prosecutor, Asogi, had you on the ropes, did he? And he's your best friend, you say? Well, he's not really the man I knew in Japan anymore. Kazuma's changed. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. You met? I mean, it's incredible. Yeah, this friend of yours that you met. Remember when we first met on the boat? The guy you said was dead when you didn't check if he was dead or not? Remember that guy? To think he'd even entertain the idea of acting as the Reaper's assassin. Well, nevertheless, you must introduce me. After all, I've only ever met the young man as a corpse. That is true. When all this started almost a year ago. Mr. Sholmes still hasn't told us the truth about what really happened back then. About the motivation for what he himself described as a great detective's lie. Now then, I must say, it's really quite a journey all the way to France. Well, there's another country, Mr. Sholmes. So, what news of Judge Jigoku? We took him to Scotland Yard. The investigating the detectives there have a lot of questions for the man. Poor Professor Mikatoba. This must be quite a shock for him. I'm just glad it's, at least so far, Mikatoba seems to be innocent. Because I had reason to be suspicious of the two of them, individually and together. And he had a lot of weird, suspicious things. It seems like most, if not all of that, is just tied to his other activities 10 years ago. But yeah, the way it's unfolding is very interesting. I picked this up at the telegraph office on our way home. Prime! Thanks for the prime. Did you know? What is it? Surely you haven't forgotten already. I put upon you for the matter only yesterday. You put upon me, Miss Sholmes? You put upon me, Sholmes. I had to fill out your telegram to Japan and foot the bill as well. You've had a reply already? What was so urgent, though, Mr. Sholmes? Such matters can wait until later. I'm far too hungry for an involved conversation at present. Well, that's good news, because supper is ready, everyone. Oh, and what a feast it is! If I were none the wiser, I'd think the trial were won already. Roast beef, kippers, stew, steak, and kidney pie. Yorkshire pudding. Tomorrow could be a very long day, so eat up. In that case, I think I'll seat myself just here. This place appears to be the only one, set with a helping of pheasants as well. Sorry, Hurley, not there. Why ever not? Are we in set places this evening? Yes, and that place is for Susie's daddy. For me? That's right. I made it especially for you, Professor Mickey. Professor Mickey? I see. Well, that's terribly kind of you. Little girl who I have no relation to. It's a shame, really. What do you mean? Well, for a brief moment, I believed it. That Susie and I were half-sisters, I mean. Oh! Iris, do you mean... Yep, I know now. I overheard yesterday. I secretly listened into the conversation you had after I tricked you all into thinking I'd left. She's so good.
What? Sholmes is dead. The misunderstanding arose because of that autopsy report from 10 years ago. Actually, it turned out that neither Dr. Wilson nor Professor Mikotoba are Iris's father? Okay. Then who was her dad? Why, the father is you, my boy. Yeah, thanks for Toledo. Just finished last fight. How far along resolve are we? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know where we are. I don't know what's happening. I didn't mean to do that. The baby is you. Iris responding. About that, Iris. You know, I know. You can't tell me at the moment. Oh, Iris. The pheasant is by way of an apology. I'm sorry for eavesdropping. That's fine. Oh, no, that's quite all right. Then why don't I get any apologetic pheasant? Apology pheasant. So just who is Iris's father? I suppose that's not something we'll be finding out today. So then let us dine while our largely pheasantless plates are still piping hot. A fine idea, Sholmes. It all looks absolutely delicious. Eat as much as you like. There are always seconds. This could be our last chance to ask questions before tomorrow's trial. About that telegram from Japan. And about Kazuma. I can't let this opportunity slip away. Why is he like that? Why is this like this? And with this look, and with this pose, and with this stance, and with this, his tummy hurty. I'm terribly full, you see, but not full of pheasant. Thank you. Okay. They actually made like a nighttime version of this. Anyway, done the ship dance. Someone's a very smart man. He should have just solved the previous stuff, but no, he got a test Naruto or whatever. Yeah, also he gets bored easily. So. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? Surely it's abundantly clear that I wasn't brooding over Mikotoba's refusal to share his pheasants with me. Nevertheless, I felt the need to withdraw from the social circle for a while and look on with hungry eyes. Sorry, Hurley, but I cooked that pheasant especially for Susie's daddy. Even though I've played the role of father to you for far longer. Soup. He calls her Mr. Naruto, Susie calls me so, he never calls her Miss Mikotoba. That is true. Mr. Sholmes, could I discuss some things with you? Certainly, my dear fellow, I find myself quite in the mood for a spell of conversation. No doubt. You're hungry to learn more of my deep love of game. I can probably contain my curiosity on that one. You needn't look at me in that fashion. In what fashion? It seems that before we discuss the pheasant, we have some rather unpheasant matters to discuss. Was all of that just for this one pun? Non-bird matters. None-bird. Can I look at the meal? I can't. It's just the chat. It's just the trunk. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, what was in the telegram you received back from Japan then? This. I thank my lucky stars it arrived in time. Record found as indicated. Duplicate follows. K. Asogi / A. Shin T. Gregson / J. Wilson. What? Those 4 names. We've come across that exact same list before. They came up in that unforgettable case last spring. Oh, not Mr. Windybank. What appeared to be a simple case of aggravated murder turned out to be masking monumental intrigue. A plot that involved the sale of British governmental secrets to foreign states. Holy shit, we're finally, okay. And exposing the means by which those secrets were being leaked, we deciphered a fragment of a message. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. Totally forgot about the details of that message. We didn't find the names out until the case was over, and we never did get to the bottom of what they meant. All we knew was that the information had been sent by somebody in the British government to somebody in Japan. So, why are the names coming up again now? Yeah, where did the sender of your telegram discover them, Mr. Sholmes? I have here the message I'd wired yesterday. Allow me to read it to you. Enter Judge Jigoku's office undetected and investigate telegram records. Expect to find communication from Britain dated 1 year ago. List of 4 names, need by tomorrow. Naruhodo. Ah! God! I sent it to a detective I know who specializes in clandestine missions of this nature. You asked Inspector Hosonaga to undertake such an onerous task for you? He's got the turtle on his head. Still. And in my name? I wonder what guise he opted for this time. My dear fellows, it was a matter of great urgency, you understand. Anyway, the list of names was found in Seishiro's office, as Sholmes predicted. So, you mean, that mysterious collection of names that was sent from Britain to Japan was... sent to Judge Jigoku. He was the intended recipient. I don't believe it. But that doesn't answer the question of what the list of names actually signifies. I did formulate a hypothesis about that. But without a shred of evidence, I couldn't possibly have shared it. Mr. Sholmes? Looks deadly serious for once. You want a fan art? Yeah. These are the ships I want together. That tragedy we had to go through on the SS Buria. It was all for nothing. Cosmo wasn't dead at all. We were completely taken in by the lie you told us, your great detective's lie. Stop smiling. Thank you. I took no pleasure in deceiving you. I disagree. However, at the time, or rather, I doubt, all that concerned me was preventing the young man's study tour from taking place, whatever the cost. What? I capitalized on the events that transpired to see that he was sent back to Japan. His remains, you mean? Precisely, Miss Suzato. And then I made sure that somebody else was sent to Britain in his stead. Oh, you mean... the arrangement between our two countries was already in place. One university student lawyer and one judicial assistant to be accommodated on a study tour. In other words, by arranging for someone else to fill the place originally intended for Mr. Asogi, I would successfully prevent the man from arriving on our shores for several years at least. Wait, do you mean to say that it was all in aid of stopping Kazuma coming to Britain? That's why. Think back, Mr. Naruhodo. Was there not somebody who quite casually urged you to continue on the voyage to England? Did he? Did this motherfucker actually? Did he incept our asses? The terms of this study tour were negotiated by the Departments of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely. Oh. 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 But there is no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know of no other lawyer. Oh. The voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Plenty of time to become a lawyer. Ample opportunity to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. Oh. Not outwitted, outstupided. You manipulated me. I've often remarked on the extraordinary lengths to which friendship will drive a man. I was quite sure that you would rise to the challenge for your late friend. I don't believe it. But if it was all contrived, I mean, what happened was treated by the authorities as murder. A woman was mistakenly arrested as the perpetrator. What do you suppose became of her? Naturally, I didn't allow the misapprehension to have any serious repercussions. Shows the real skill was there long before the accident is shown in the escapade. Yeah, I forgot about that. I subsequently explained everything and assisted the unfortunate soul in finding the foreign refuge she sought. I seem to remember Miss Susato and I had some rather strong words for her. Well, she was certainly not devoid of all guilt. She deserved every word, I'm sure.
I wonder if she made it to America then.
Thank you for the best. Really lying to this poor traumatized girl, Shums. I have a chance to something really funny later. I'm afraid I simply cannot comprehend it. Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Sholmes? Why were you so determined to stop Kazuma-sama from reaching Britain? I thought it'd be funny. The truth is, 12 months ago, there was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see. An omen that at this very moment in time is close at hand. An omen of all these tragic events that already existed a year ago is close at hand? We need to find out exactly what he knows. Do I have the omen? Is it the lack of pheasant? Is it the red-headed league? Is it my badge? Is it this cool gun? Is it this? Is it that? Is it these? Is it those? Is it when? Is it you? Is it this? Is it those? Is it these? Oh yeah. Must be the rabbit. It's gotta be the rabbit. From a year, huh? What? What? There's a tangible omen of the impending tragedy, an omen of the very moment times close at hand. Known that I have. An omen that all these bad things were gonna happen. That I've found, but is not a new piece of evidence. Like, it wasn't created recently. Huh? Huh? What? Huh? Huh? I don't think this makes sense. What? Can I show it to him anyway? Mr. Sholmes, you want to look at this? This is hardly the time. Of course not. My attention is entirely drawn to one single matter now. The pheasant. Anyone would think you hadn't eaten in weeks. Meow, Mr. Naruhodo. Meow, I've never eaten before in my life. Meow, I need pheasant. Meow. Mr. Naruhodo, I'm perishing over here. I'm wasting away before your eyes. The pheasant, my good man. The pheasant, meow. What the fuck does he mean? Yard. This cool photo. The Asogi papers. Definitely the Asogi papers. You must water me, or I will perish. I'm going to simply waste away. You must be. The grouse. Yeah, maybe the pheasant on there. But the passport. Princess House report. Something that would, like, I have no idea what they mean. Yeah, I can't take damage, which is nice. Here's your drill. The thing that you literally just got. The thing that he literally, what? Huh? Or is this just like a thing he comments on? Okay. There was no room for doubt with your instructions in this telegram, Mr. Sholmes. You were very clear it was Judge Jigoku's office that should be searched, so you obviously knew that's where the list of names would be found. Was that the answer? Overthinking. He literally hands me a thing and says, oh, the evidence is close at hand. I wasn't thinking the thing he literally just handed me. I thought it was like a twist. Like, this thing is... Fuck. Okay. Kasogi, Ashin, Gregson, Jewilson. What does it mean? We only learned of those 4 names just over 6 months ago now. And only because they appeared as part of the top secret government communications that were leaked. Why would I connect that to a year ago? That's true, yes. But at the time, you were unaware of the background. You see, those 4 names were wired to Japan. around 6 months before that. Which I didn't know, chat! Approximately this time last year, in fact, when you were both still in Japan. To Gregson. He said it was dated a year ago. I missed that. Because in my brain, I'm like, well, that was 6 months ago. It would really be hypocrisy on my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets. Because, after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communications between the British and Japanese governments. I'm constantly committing crimes, my good man. Constantly. I'm wanted by the 12 continents. Ones we haven't even found yet. Oh. Fuck the government, my good man. Their secrets belong to the people and to me. What do you mean? I'm constantly committing treason. Hoo-hoo. Here I go. Haha, you're perpetually doing what? How? It's not treason if you have a treason, my good man. I'm gonna throw this man into the Thames. Never mind the details, but you should know. No secret is safe from Sherlock Holmes when he has designs on knowing it. Oh my, Mr. Sholmes, what a fabulous line. Now, 1 month after that list of 4 names was wired to the recipient, Jigoku in Japan, Dr. John H. Wilson was murdered. By A. Shin. So, wait. No, it's top to bottom. Asogi was supposed to kill Gregson? A. Shin was supposed to kill Wilson? Or is it just assassins and I don't know. Am I stupid? As soon as I learned of the incident, a hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turned out, I was partly correct and partly mistaken. Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that were to follow. Mr. Sholmes, please, tell us all you know. Tell us about these 4 names and the tragedy to which they're all somehow connected.
There we go.
There are 4 names. As I said, when I learned of Dr. Wilson's murder in Japan, my mind immediately turned to those 4 names because, you see, there was someone else on the list who I believe to be recently deceased. What? Who? A. Shin, as it was transcribed in Japanese script. In actual fact, Miss Asa Shin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer, well known among London's unsavory classes. I see. But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder. So I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed. And accordingly, I became fearful for the lives of the remaining 2 persons on the list. Asogi and Gregson. Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. But I determined it would be safest if young Asogi were to stay away from Britain. Ah, so that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his study tour from going ahead. Okay. Exactly. So you already knew who Kazuma-sama was, Mr. Sholmes. Oh yes, Sholmes and I have exchanged correspondence for years. I'd recounted many tales about Asogi to him in my letters, and the news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course. He's not your father, but you can still be sad. Dr. Wilson is dead then. Yeah, that's fair. Even if he's not her father, she would still feel an attachment to him. I didn't know. Oh, Iris! This is how she finds out. I know he wasn't my daddy, but still. That's very sad. Yes, it is. I'm so sorry, Iris. We knew the significance of the name, obviously, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you. They still avoided telling her. She still only finds out through us talking around her, which just feels bad. No. But what you just told us, Mr. Sholmes, doesn't completely tie in with the facts. There's one big hole in your hypothesis. A big hole, Mr. Naruhodo? Ah, yes. You mean about Asa Shin, I presume? Of course. Exactly. She wasn't killed, was she? She was in Japan, posing as a visiting student under the assumed name of Giselle Brett. I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fellow, but I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel. If I go back to that scene, am I gonna get mad? They're gonna flash back to it, so I'll just get mad right now. And upon hearing that startling revelation, the hypothesis that I'd formed surrounding these 4 names was completely turned topsy.
What? Topsy? Oh, okay, we're not gonna flashback it.
Why, Matt? Just because I bet in the scene, they probably just happened to talk about Giselle and Aishin, which is stuff I all know. And then Sholmes pops up and is like, I was here the whole time. Well, I must be going. And then he's weird as fuck. But I just don't remember how the scene played out. So, as opposed to Bottomsy. Yeah. That was shown the scene. Well, we were shown it, but I'm like, I wonder if there's... If you rewatch that scene with this knowledge, does he act in a way as if he's like, well, I simply must be going. When he's just like, he's always weird. That's exactly what happened. Okay, good. Great. Also, the Twitch smile is just a good smile. You don't need reason to smile. Come on, chat. Why are you smiling? It's nice to smile. Have you thought about that? I think we would live in a better society. People just smiled when they wanted to, without feeling judged for such a thing. You should smile more. That's my point. That's what yeah. Hey, cake, what kind of cake? What do you mean when you say your hypothesis was turned topsy, Mr. Sholmes? I believed all 4 names on the list to be the names of victims. However, I was mistaken. Very much so. Assassin was a killer. Smile and spin, boys. Smile and spin. So this telegram is a list of both killers, victims, and killers, is it? Is that what he said? Assassin, of course, is so obvious. How could I have neglected to consider the possibility before now? Is that verbatim what he said? Fuck. I am so unobservant. Indeed! And it would seem that Miss Shin. Granted, I wouldn't have had the context. So even if I had, like, clocked that as, like, that's important. Clocked it because it's Ace Attorney. He was dispatched. She was. It would seem Miss Shin was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching Dr. Wilson. Her visiting student status being merely a front. You'd think it'd be easier for him to wait until he was back in England, because it was a temporary placement at Eugene University, but I'm not, we don't know we still don't know a lot about the Reaper, so I can't presume to know. Which would, of course, explain why no motive could be determined for her actions. So the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by Assassin is because he was the target of an assassination. This stupid game. From case 1, it was all connected. And forearmed with that knowledge, fresh consideration of this telegram puts the list in a very different perspective.
What do you mean?
Well, does it not strike you? There is another among the 4 who has subsequently became a visiting student.
Wait, you mean?
But of course, a name you know only too well.
You mean
Kazuma? He did say in court earlier today. Yes, on 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk. When we talked to him in his office, he was talking about how there's like another thing he had to do. No, that was actually at Strongheart's office, I think. He was like, I didn't just come to Britain to be a lawyer. And I'm just like, yeah, he's like trying to learn about his dad or something. No, there was another thing he had to do. Yeah, Jiku knew in case 1? Greg's sorry, it was his assigned target, yeah. For some reason. I really hope that it was all a big misunderstanding. And, Kazuma didn't murder him. He said he didn't. But, you know. Assassin swap. God. There was a stupider reason. Yes. I accompanied Gregson to Dunkirk. In order to carry out a mission. And then yeah, he didn't lie. You think the mission is with Gregson. But, And the mission was? The assassination of the Mark. Technically not lying. God damn it. I'm mad. Ugh. I hate this fucking lawful good villain that we're up against. Young Mr. Asogi accepted that mission a year ago now. Surely not. Cosmo's really called Samurai the mission. Oh no. You say you intend to redo everything Mr. Sogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? His calling has never occurred to you. Perhaps you know nothing of his true calling. What do you suppose it really was? Right. Because there was very clearly, and then Cosmo himself was like, there's something I have to tell you. And then he was killed before he could finish talking about it. So clearly there was more to him coming to Japan. I just didn't think it was he's a hired assassin. Like, that's insane. In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts. Oh no, oh no, oh no. An international agreement, one might say, detailing an assassin exchange. This is the other thing too that has been spinning around in my head and I don't have any theories, is that whoever the real Reaper is, if there's a singular person who's the puppet master, I still have no idea who they are, but they clearly have connections to everything from 10 years ago as well as the current events. So it's just like, that should be a very small list, and yet I don't have any good theories. So I'm just like, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Detailing an assassin exchange. Assassin swap, yes. An assassin exchange. How could Cosmo possibly have got involved in something like that? Maybe it's Sholmes. Maybe it's just Sholmes. Maybe it's Toby. Maybe Toby's secretly 10 years old, but he looks like a puppy in disguise. Let's assume that we have two parties, each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Those two parties make a contract to swap their respective assassination targets. Also, those were government secrets we stole. How high up does it go? Okay. That would then be an assassin exchange. Although if it's government secrets, that does point to one person that we know of. To begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Japan, where she kills her target. And then the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target. The real Reaper is the Queen! It certainly does sound like an exchange. I know, Ryotaro needs to come from Japan, stat, we need him. What on earth is the point? Don't forget, Naruhodo, that the British assassin at least escaped conviction, thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction. Yeah. Such jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our two countries. So, the fact that it was brought into play suggests intervention at the very highest levels. The highest levels. These murders were two sides of the same coin, linked not by a common motive, but by contractual agreement. As such, they appeared utterly unrelated, yet in truth, the assassins were complicit in one singular devilish scheme. Delightfully so. That disassociation and the safeguard of diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motivation behind this plot. But wait a minute, Sholmes. If this telegram really is describing the exchange of assassins as you're suggesting, it would mean that the Japanese killer's target was never Seishiro Jiguku at all. It would mean Asogi's target was actually Inspector Gregson. Cosmo's here for Gregson. Not the Chippy. Jiguku was never actually the mark. That's exactly what they would mean. I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe. Mr. Sholmes. I told him of my fears and implored him to seek a transfer to an overseas position. Obviously, with the young pickpocket in tow. Yeah, Gina. Come to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition. That he'd been transferred to the... He'd be transferring to the Paris police. Let me try again. That he'd be transferring to the Paris police and taking Gina with him. But without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment, it seems. And sadly, it turned out to be his very last. This is too much to take in. Where's Toby when you need him? Alright, everyone, that's quite enough of all that serious talk for one day. Isn't it, Hurley? I mean, look at the time. Ah, quite right, Iris. We must conclude our preparations for tomorrow. It's 1:30 no pheasant o'clock. What preparations? Save the rest for court tomorrow, real. Toby's also an assassin? I believe it. A trained killer. I think I shall have to make my way back to my hotel room now. This has certainly been a night to remember.
It's 7:06.
It's a little sad, though. I mean, I like the idea of you being my daddy. Because then Susie would have been my big sister. I'm sorry, Iris. I know, Iris. I was thinking quite the same thing. No. Were you? But if somebody like me would be worthy, I would be delighted to become your sister. What? Really? Oh yes, without question. So you'll teach me all the ways you know to throw Runo to the floor?
Oh.
Yes, yes, of course. It would be my pleasure. You didn't have to agree quite so readily. Oh, but wait a minute.
Bruno, please. Let the girls have hobbies.
If Susie's gonna be my big sister, you could be my big brother if you want, Runo.
Huh?
I mean, yes, of course. If you'll have me, I'd gladly be your brother. Well done, Iris. We must always be mindful of feelings. I've raised you so well.
I want to start sobbing.
Because being sensitive is your strong suit, naturally. Don't be like me, Iris. Don't be a sociopath. That's no way to live. Alright, I'm going to work extra hard for tomorrow now. Because it's for my big brother and sister. On the key.
What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? Preparing what?
Hee. You'll just have to wait and see.
If you're gonna blow up the Old Bailey, I'd like to be in on the plan, so I know what's coming. Oh.
Hey, Gray's turn. It's about family. Good luck in court tomorrow. I'm expecting a sterling performance.
I'll do my very best, of course.
I've planted bombs everywhere. Oh my god. So the overnight break in the trial's proceedings became a crucial turning point, exposing new truths whilst posing new conundrums. That list of 4 names on the telegram in Judge Jigoku's office, and the extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend had somehow been involved. I felt as though I'd been plunged into an even greater darkness all of a sudden. But at the same time, I felt sure I would see the light again soon. Because I was lucky enough to have the most wonderful family in the world standing steadfastly behind me. Family.
Oh my god.
For anyone that knows, are we like spitting distance from the end? Like, should I try to finish it tonight? Or is it way too much? And if it is way too much, is this a good stopping point or do we keep going? We got a while. Cool. This is the halfway point. Too much. How many hours you got? I don't know. Good to go. Decent chunk. Got another full stream. This is a good stopping point. Okay. Because it's early for me to end stream, but I'm like, I think pacing wise, I'd rather do this than be like, there's like an hour left and I'm sitting here at like 8 hours of stream, turning into mush. Like another full stream's worth. It feels weird to end it this early, but I think if we have to go late tomorrow, so be it, but probably put yourself in better position to do a little bit more. Stream always lie? It always is. Maybe longish. Well, it's like, for anyone that knows, obviously without spoilers, is there a good off-ramp that we could get to where things feel like there'd be a good stopping point? I'm 2.5 hours into a 7-hour play. Yeah, long time. Not really. We can go up to the next break. Pivot to MGS work. I don't really want to do that right now. This is a decent one. This is a good stopping point. It kind of just keeps going. Okay. There's a lot. Okay. There's one more to be continued. Okay. This is an hour and a half away. I mean, we could do that. We could do that. 9 was 2 hours with the next good stopping point. This is good break soon. Another 2 hours. Yeah. I'm gonna do a poll because I'm extremely indecisive. Oh god. Well, great. That's me clicking over here. What we do? Keep going for now, or good stopping point.
Captain. The game said continue. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it might be. It might be just to do the whatever is remaining of the game. Only not because of patient. I understand, but just know that I probably won't be able to finish. Well, sounds like definitely won't be able to finish it tonight. Capo. Yeah, Capo. Shadow the Hedgehog. He's posted it all over Twitter.com. It'll be a long stream. I mean, there's also the fucking option that I'm like exhausted tomorrow and then split into 3 streams, but I hope that's not the case. I think I could probably do it all. Chat's just going 50-50 on it. Ugh. It's just so hard because like I don't know the game. So if it's just like, yeah, there is another starting point, but it's a while away, and my brain's gonna be even more mush than it is now. Oh man. Epilogue is very long. That's fair. But epilogue isn't as hard on my brain because I don't have to keep things in my brain. Don't want to be here another 3 hours. There's also that, Mesokoko. It's easy for me to be like, I just want to do another 8-hour stream. Every time I do a long stream of this series, it fucking ruins my voice. Most contentious. Yeah, chat does love to split a vote when I'm like, chat, help me decide. And chat's like, here's the funniest thing I could do right now. Not to aim. That's also, yeah. Here's the numbers in. Perfectly balanced. There's a slight edge worth to good stopping point. So I think I'm gonna wrap up now. And just have a shorter stream today. Wait, no. No. Exit. What? No. Well, we must tie it. Well, I mean, a few seconds left. 6 votes are splitting the 2. Well, I hit quit game instead of back to title screen. So, even better. Oh my god. To the number. 78 to 78. Perfect tie. Thank you, chat. So helpful. Appreciate it. Well, great. Anyway, then I'm the tiebreaker. And I'll be like, yeah, I think to save my throat. And I'll just buckle up for a long stream tomorrow. So, we'll just call it. But I appreciate it. This is a hell of a case. I mean, in a weird way. It's so weird when I click out of the window, it takes it as an input. I'm the vice president. Oh god. But yeah, I watched the video. Can you post it again? I don't remember if I saved it from earlier. I was gonna permit you. I think you just posted. But yeah, yeah, I can rest my voice and also. Well, was this the what was this? I think I remember what you said. This was. Yeah. Hold on. Bup. Tappa, tappa, tappa. Pretty good. Tappa, tappa, tappa. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't go. Games are neat. Anyway, that's great. Thanks for hanging. Let me wrap up. Short stream, but buckle up for tomorrow. Because it's gonna be Friday night, and we're gonna blow up this case and the courtroom. Probably. So buckle up. J12, thanks for the bits. Azul, thank you for the bits. Tina, thanks for the bits. BK Lily. Can we check the art book after we finish the game? Yeah, well, I say yes. If it goes late tomorrow, I might be like too wiped to do it, but I'm locked in. Azul, thanks for the bits. MD Major, thanks for 92 months. Mateo, thanks for 41. Tomfoolery, thanks for the bits. Scarlet, thanks for 38 months. Sound Defense, thanks for 40. Tomfoolery, thanks for the bits. Azul, thanks for the bits. TFK Wall, thanks for 69 months. It's the funny number. Let's go. Ashborn, thanks for 100 bits. They had to change because Sholmes' name was Holmes in the original, so they changed a lot of art for that bit to work with the 7-digit code. Quincy Marl, thanks for soup. Oh, that was the link you just posted again. Sonomolo, gifted us up to Jigoku. Books Mowo, thanks for the bits. The fact that the first game opened with what seemed to be the series version of Dr. Watson dying, and I spent the whole duology accepting the fact that there was no character who quite had the classic Holmes-Watson dynamic, made the reveal that A, Mikotobo is the real Watson, and B, you get to play as him for a section, the hypest thing ever. And also, even though someone mentioned that there was still at least one more Dance of Deduction, At no point in that investigation was I like, oh, this is where it is, obviously, because I was distracted in poo brain. But also just like, it just doesn't seem like there's a need for another dance of deduction there. It's so when it happens, and like, you see the two of them kind of in the act bouncing off of each other. It's a very nice reveal. It's a very nice payoff. It's good. And also, it's consistent with Sholmes being a dumbass, because he's not in there, you know, suddenly being smart. He just trusts Mikotoba. So he's like, this is what's going on, right, Mikotoba? And then Mikotoba's like, this thing here. And he's like giving hints or whatever, but like, he's got his partner. It's good. Great. Yeah, we could probably do that sick day. I'll take a look. But yeah, it's good. Ozzo gifted a sub to Tessler. So suppose he gifted a sub to Paradiddles. Is that our raid message? Paradiddles? Evil Guy, thanks for 90 months. I did a 4-hour Blender tutorial and now I have a pretty donut. Congratulations. I also have a Blender donut on my computer somewhere. Ozzo, thanks for gifting 2 subs to Buxmo and Moon Gerard. And also 7 months with Prime. I have Prime. Did you know if you have Prime, you can indeed obtain a Bar Ahoy once a month. Well, I mean, you have it for the month. Fertolino, thanks for 245 bits. How far along Resolve are we? We are somewhere. I don't know. This game is a mess, and this case in particular is like the most. I forgot I Prime, which is why it's such a copy pasta on Twitch, because it's so easy to forget. It is always. It's why I'm always like, if you don't care to use it here, that's fine. I just think you should use your Prime sub if you're sitting on one. There's no point having it just sit there if you forgot about it. And also Fertolina said, with knowing you've already done the ship dance, Sholmes is a very smart man who's way too committed to the bit. He could have just solved the previous stuff, but no, got to test Naruto or whatever. I refuse to accept a theory, even with evidence, that Sholmes is actually this smart all the time. I think he has moments where he's locked in, but I think a lot of the time he just can't be bothered. And that the stupidity rises to the surface because he just can't be bothered to be smart. I don't think he's a smart guy playing 5D chess. I think he's actually the quantum superposition of smart and stupid. That's where I'm at with him. You are allowed to disagree. There's plenty of evidence, especially what we just saw. Plenty of evidence that he's actually a smart dude who's got his shit together. Absolutely, he's been playing a lot of this shit. He's been playing some amount of chess. There's definitely to support that. I just reject all that and go, no, he's stupid. He's smart, but he's also stupid. He's there. He's playing 5D checkers, but thinks it's chess. And sometimes he's able to score a point. So, it's good. There's different types of smart. That's also true. Quincy, thanks for soup. The entire series Sholmes calls Runo Naruhodo. He calls Suzato Miss Suzato. Never Miss Mikotoba. Tom Fui, thanks for 96 bits. Laying into the poor traumatized girl Sholmes. I have a chance to do something really funny later. Ashmore Phoenix, thanks for the assassin swap. Ozul, thanks for the bits. Kazuma's theme is samurai with a mission. Ashmore Phoenix. Mikotoba took Sholmes' brain cell with him to Japan and returned it when they reunited. That's a theory I could get behind. Actually, I could get behind that theory. And with them telegramming back and forth, he's able to, like, borrow it briefly. Mind chess, yeah. Mind chess. I would accept that theory. Not that he's smart all the time, but that Mikotoba keeps the brain cell in safe containment. And also Ozzo. Sholmes does at least a little poo brain, because I have to believe he was being somewhat genuine with the speckled band deduction. It's too much for me to believe that the numerous times that he's stupid as hell is all a ploy. You can make the argument that he's smart and that makes people let their guard down, right? But like, he's like at home being a dumbass. He's not like, oh, he's only a dumbass when he's out around other people that he might be trying to manipulate or learn things about. He's just like by himself being sad about his stupid violin or something. So, anywho, I'm gonna rate out, but I really appreciate it. I feel like I need to apologize for a shorter stream, but more than a lot of the games I stream, I feel like Ace Attorney in particular, it's so hard for me to find a good off-ramp. So if it happens to land a bit earlier than I would like, it's like, I'd rather take the off-ramp than go longer than I want to and then be like, eh. And yes, I appreciate the understanding. It is my absolute pleasure and privilege to get to play this with all of you, but it does murder my throat a bit. So I'm not gonna be sitting here complaining like boo-hoo, but it's just like, yeah, it is a reality of streaming these games for long hours, is it makes it tough the next day. Especially like Thursday, Friday, like now, when it's like back to back. So I appreciate it. Am I not following him? I might not be following him.
But it was, God, formerly PSEG. What did he change? Or they? I actually don't recall what pronouns they use. But what was it again? Because I'm definitely down. Bath actually made a VTuber model for formerly PSEG. War Omelet, that's the one. Which, formerly PSEG rebrand to War Omelet is one of the best fucking brand reduns I've ever seen. So yeah, we're gonna go raid War Omelet, who's playing Alan Wake Remastered, the first one, and not currently using the VTuber rig that Bath set up, but that's fine. So yeah, let's go. No, Alan Wake is not Heavy Rain. It's a different guy. I mean, there's a Jason in there. He goes by him. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, I wanted to thank you all for joining. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully finishing this, and we'll see. Alan. Anyone remember that video of the like little chipmunk gopher guy? Alan. But yeah, we're gonna throw a paradiddles raid out. Get your parachutes. Don't say my name. Sorry. I never played Alan Wake 1 or 2. I played a little bit of 2 and was like, this is neat. And I stopped. So appreciate it. Have a good one. I'll be back tomorrow. Hope to see you then. If not, have a good weekend. This game is melted my brain. I don't know. There's still so many big questions unanswered, even though we're getting a lot of those answers now finally, which is very satisfying. And I'm liking where it's going, but I'm scared to see where it will lead. So I hope to see you then. Could be PP. It could be. I think Paradiddles is more of like a what do you mean? So, appreciate it. Get the fuck out of here. Goodbye. Go. Thanks for watching, VOD watchers. Hope you're enjoying the video game. I gotta go. See you next VOD. Because if you made it this far and you're not watching the final VOD, or whatever's left, live your life. Do what you want to do, but I mean, I feel like I hope to see you then. Virtual. I'm talking to my webcam. I'm alone in my room. This is stupid. Goodbye.